Good morning. My name is JahLogic, and this is the Morning Rant. And with me, I got my co-host, Stephon, a.k.a. Steph Got Jokes. What's up, player?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm cooling. Sitting here trying to operate two machines at the same time. One of them acting funny style.
What you mean two machines? What you got going on over there? That's a producer talk I don't understand yet.
Nah. I usually work off two. I work off my iMac and my laptop same time. You know what I'm saying? So I think I got it cracking. I got it cracking. All right. So I see we on YouTube and we're on Facebook. And we got a couple people calling in today, and I'm looking forward to that. And we already got somebody on the check-in, so I know we definitely janking. You know what I'm saying? We up and working. Let me just double check some things and put that comment on the screen. And Laurel in the league says, "What's up? What's up with you? Good morning, Laurel. Always good to see Laurel pulling up. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Brooklyn Honcho says, what up, y'all? I'm about to go to Delaware until tomorrow, so have a great show. All right, well, yo, you have a great trip, Brooklyn Honcho.
Yeah.
Man, I'm glad you pulled up, you know what I'm saying, even though you're on your way. If you actually about to go in your car and drive to Delaware, hopefully you can, you know what I'm saying, throw us on the on one of your phones and, listen to us while you're on your drive. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how long we're going to be on today. But definitely have a great drive, and we wish you well. Definitely, and have fun in Delaware, man. Word up. Go buy some property or some shit.
Yeah, be a real nigga. Take the ox score, and put us in.
No doubt. All right, man. Yo, so let me see what I want to get to first. I know we definitely owe the people. First off, I owe the people apology. We didn't go live yesterday, and that was due to me. You know what I'm saying? Homie Brooklyn Honcho says, I will. I just can't comment. Salute. Makes sense.
Okay.
Makes sense. Definitely have a safe drive. Real talk. So I owe the people apology. We didn't go live yesterday. I had some business to attend to. Nothing crazy, you know what I mean? But just some family business. Business nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, unless paper's calling, you know what I'm saying? We'll be here. You feel me? We'll be here. And I had some business to attend to with family. So, I had to make that happen. Outside of that, we also owe you a review on the Storm Over Brooklyn, the Yusef Hawkins documentary. The Yusef Hawkins story in his Storm Over Brooklyn is a documentary produced by my good friend Victorious De Costa. He came up on an earlier show and graced us with an interview. And we definitely want to review his documentary. And salute to the one hater we got in the building already with the one dislike on YouTube that really thinks it matters. You know what I'm saying? But Steph,
Yes, sir.
I know you was watching that motherfucking Brandy and Monica joint yesterday.
I tapped in for a little bit.
Wait, hold on. You tapped in for a little bit.
Yeah. I was having a meeting. But, I'll be unprofessional as fuck with the one AirPod in. Like, yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
I ain't going front. I caught it like a little late, and then I went back and watched it again. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. You feel me? I had to. So based on what you caught, though, what's your assessment? And I was really looking forward to your assessment because I know you a music head. You know what I mean? You and J Doug. You know what I mean? Speaking of J Doug, Aki Betha says, "Where J Doug black ass at?" J Doug comes in on Wednesdays most times, Wednesdays and Thursdays. He comes in for the middle of the week and get us the rest of the way. And he's usually here on Wednesday and Thursdays. He might call in a little later. We don't know. We'll see. You never know with J Doug. But go ahead, Steph. I was looking forward to your assessment. You know what I mean? You and J Doug be hitting the notes, man, on Live and On Point. You know?
No. I listened to about 5 songs from each of them. Because like I said, I was in a meeting, but that shit was lit.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was some joints they was playing, and I was like, damn, I kind of forgot about that shit. That shit did slide.
Right.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. That was a good one. It was of course it was that awkward shit that was going on between them two, which
Seen that.
it was.
It was a point where they started talking about some weird shit about kicking down doors or something like that. And then she was like, "Oh, they're gonna think you talking about kicking down my door." And then they kind of had some awkward. I know what you're talking about. I seen a few awkward moments. I know what you're saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Brandy was hella awkward.
Why you think that is?
I don't think she's just good socially. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who was raised in the spotlight, not really knowing how to be real. Like every time you come on camera, you put on this fake perception, and you never really show who you really are. That's just my synopsis.
I don't know, man. I think she know how to handle social gatherings and shit like that, social settings. You feel me? But
it's been a while. Maybe she's been quarantined for a minute and just like, hey, a human.
Yeah, I think that's all of us. I think at the same time, like you said, they ain't see each other in a while too. You know what I mean? Like you said she probably ain't see people in a while, but I think she just ain't see her in a while, and we don't really know what happens. So we already got a comment. Lorville says Monica won. Lorville, you want to call up? You want to explain yourself? You want to call up and explain yourself, man?
I mean, that's fair. That is fair.
That's a fair assessment.
That's
I knew
fair.
you was gonna feel that way.
That's fair.
I felt you was gonna feel that way because you are more of a Monica fan.
Bro, to say I'm a Monica or Brandy fan is low key disrespectful.
Why?
Man, because a fan is short for fanatic, and
right,
for me to be a fanatic over either one of them.
All right, so I'm gonna take fan out the picture. I say fan for lack of better words. Then how about that?
All right,
fan more or less like you were listening to her over Brandy.
Because Monica got more grown up music opposed to Brandy's songs that didn't age quite as well as Monica music. Like that song. What's that song? She wrote about C Murder being in prison. That shit still translates. It's still motherfuckers dealing with their people in prison. You know what I'm saying?
So check this out. Before we get into the rest of the stories, the serious shit, you know what I mean? We want you to call in and we want us to I want you to let us know who you thought won if you was tuned in last night to the verses, the Monica and Brandy verses. Who do you think won? Brandy or Monica? And don't hit me with that the people won shit neither. I can't stand that shit.
We need answers, John.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, I can't stand that shit. I remember I was watching the I think the first time I heard that shit was when RZA and Premier battled. And they hip hop won and nigga, it's called verses. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, somebody won, nigga. Stop this shit. You know what I'm saying? But call in. The number is 213-355-RANT. And of course, if you know me personally, just hit my 347 number. It goes to the same line.
And listen, I'm gonna say this too. Y'all niggas owe Ludacris an apology because y'all niggas was disrespecting him, thinking Nelly was gonna win that versus.
I don't know. I wasn't excited for that versus at all. Period. Like I wasn't excited at all for that shit.
Listen, especially you up north niggas. You up north niggas definitely be sleeping on Luda like he wouldn't coming with haymakers.
All right, look. I can't speak for up north niggas. I don't do the whole speak for everybody thing. Oh, okay, hold on. We got a caller. Good morning, caller. Who am I speaking to? Good morning.
Yeah, what's going on? It's Lorville.
Lorville, what's up with it?
Good morning.
All right, good morning, Steph. All right, let's get to this verse battle. So let's be real. Like Brandy is a legend, Monica is a legend, but at the end of the day, Monica has more hits than Brandy that people recognize as well. Like don't get me wrong, Brandy has some hits, right, but Monica she has those songs where it hits your soul. You know what I'm saying? Like when you hear it hits your damn soul because she comes from that church. That says, when you come from the church, you learn how to sing. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that Brandy didn't, but Monica just got more soul. But anyway,
I tell you like this, I agree with with both of y'all when y'all say she got like more soul or she has like she got like the more adult sound. You know what I'm saying? Like in her music, she got more adult sounding music. But I gotta disagree with y'all on her winning. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like versus, you know what I mean? And mind you, I didn't take it as serious as I took some of the ones in the past where I sat there and really counted who won each round like a boxing match. I didn't do that shit, right? But I just went off of like which one did I enjoy more, and I felt more nostalgic. I felt like I was more entertained by the Brandy songs. I just gotta keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, well, hold on. Did you go up listen more to Brandy or Monica?
I think I gave them both a fair shot, but I think I'm gonna say I probably heard more Brandy if I had to choose one.
Okay, there it is, right there. There it is. See, I grew up with Monica. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I got to her a little bit late, you know, she still had hits in the, in the '90s, late '90s, early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? So,
all right,
Monica is what I know.
Hold on. Let me ask you this. I'm gonna pose this to the audience. I'm gonna pose this to the audience, and I want a female to call up and answer this question too. But as men, I can answer individually. Monica had a song called what's that shit? Days Like This or something like that. Just one of those days.
Right. Just one of them days.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, is that song not about a girl going through her period?
Absolutely. I say that all the time.
Lovell?
I think so, yeah.
I just wanna be all alone. If you think I did you wrong, don't take it. Because you can't control your emotions. Like, I know women in their 30s still can't control their emotions during their period.
That shit was motherfucking PMS anthem if I ever heard one. You know what I'm saying? Lovell, though, man, what's up with you? Tell the people about yourself, man. I know you do this podcast and shit a little bit too, right?
Yeah. I know that me and Muhammad gonna have our own show coming soon.
That shit's gonna be blackety.
Come on, we all know Muhammad.
Yeah.
But let me ask y'all this though.
What's up?
Who are y'all looking forward to in the next versus battle?
The next versus battle, who I'm looking forward to. I mean, I've seen a lot of matchups that make sense. But I kind of just let them. I can't even say I'm looking forward to anybody. I'm looking forward to whatever happens. You know what I'm saying?
Because they're not gonna give us what we want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just
50 and Jah not gonna happen. That is just not gonna happen.
Yo, you know what? And speaking of that, if I had to put my vote in for anyone, it would have to be 50 and Jah. And I'm not feeling 50 for not wanting to do that shit neither. You know what I mean?
Now that would be a battle because the history, because the beef and all that. Now that would be good, entertaining. But I don't know if they would be in the same room because it'd be too much tension.
Nah, take it back. Take it back to when they was in different rooms. All of that is good. You feel me? But like that would be, like you said, that would be, because of the history, that shit would be crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I would love to hear 50 play his mixtape joints too in that battle. Not for nothing, because his mixtape damn near went platinum in the streets.
Listen, you can't play his mixtapes and act like them shits don't ring off.
Them shits definitely hit the spot. Like I used to play 50 mixtapes driving through Southside, and then you had to like going through certain neighborhoods, you have to just turn that shit down because you like, this nigga talking about these niggas right here. Real
all right. What about? Did y'all hear about they're gonna have a? Now this is just a rumor. It ain't concrete, but they're saying that a Rakim versus Big Daddy Kane battle might be in the works. What y'all think about that?
I mean, I think that would be long overdue. I hope it has the mass appeal it deserves. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that they're both two New Yorkers. You know what I'm saying? And at the time they were coming out, it wasn't a lot of music coming from a lot of hip hop music coming from different places. So I feel like the people that would be tuned in would be more like real hip hop, aficionado, and like motherfuckers from the East Coast for the most part. Whereas a lot of these other joints is kind of like hit us all. You know what I'm saying? But I think that would be a good matchup, though. I mean, that's right up there with like RZA and Premier.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it definitely be classic.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm definitely waiting. I'm definitely waiting on this nigga's verses, because let's be real. The verses, it takes your mind off what's going on in this world, as far as with politics, as far as with what's, this pandemic. So I like the verses. I'm glad that Swiss Beats and Timbaland created this.
Yeah, I'm feeling that shit too.
But let me say this too. It's a waste of a verse when they put Fred Hammond and goddamn Kurt Franklin against each other. I'm like, what is this? What is it?
I didn't even watch that one.
It wasn't no real verses. I mean, let's just. I say this out of respect for Fred Hammond because I really do respect him, but you ain't got the catalog like Frank like Kurt. Come on, man, what we doing here?
In his defense, even though I ain't watched that one, Kurt Franklin catalog is like him fucking directing a choir. Like that nigga cheated. That nigga had the cheat code. That nigga's the Puff Daddy of gospel music, my nigga.
But he's a writer and a producer. It's not like he's just sitting up here saying y'all do this, that y'all. What he literally produces.
I will hope so, because that nigga, to me, I just thought that nigga was pimping the system. Real talk. But yo, speaking of niggas who I didn't watch, to go back to your earlier statement, I can't speak for the whole of New York, right? But I just know, like, I never slept on Ludacris or Nelly. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, like, yeah.
I never slept on them, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just felt like, I wasn't excited to hear about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, I feel like Ludacris music didn't age well. That shit was like cool when we was teenagers, and you know what I'm saying? But that shit is like, I'm not listening to that shit now. That shit's mad goofy. Like, Ludacris shit at the time was dope, but that shit, you grow up and it's like, I don't want to listen to this shit. And then Nelly, and they got a few hits, but then it's like, come on, my nigga. Come on, my nigga. Like
nobody listening to Air Force One. Come on. Nobody listening to Air Force One.
Not me, at least. I ain't gonna say nobody, but not
I
me.
like them all white, hot top with the gum bottoms. There's something about them.
Hold on, we got some few callers. We got a few comments. Miss Ravioli said, "That's what I'm talking about. Black men on the job." What's up, Miss Ravioli?
What's going on, Ravioli?
Apologize again, Miss Ravioli, about yesterday. She hit me up and was like, "Yo," she gave me an earful, man. We'll put you back next Monday, and we'll have you on Monday as well. It's Chico. What's up, Union Rep? He said that was worses, not verses. It was worses. Which one you talking about though, Ish? Tell me which one you talking about. And he also says, peace to the fan. Peace to you. Salute to the Union Rep. Yo, Lorville, thank you for calling in. I'm going to open the phone lines for anybody else that want to call in and give us their take on the versus battle before we move on to the next subject. But, yo, thank you for pulling up, though. You heard? And we looking forward to the Black experience via your podcast. You know what I'm saying? I think he already got off the phone, but we looking forward to that. And you're ready to go. We're going to welcome that up here. I think we got the opposite side of the spectrum calling in. First of all, we got my sister calling in. Jersey Jen, what's up with you?
Hey, Mom. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Bless. How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
All right, so I know you was looking forward to this versus. Like, I feel like you was looking forward to this. Like, I was looking forward to like fucking Risen Premiere or some of the other joints. You know what I mean? Whoever that was that just called, give me a second. We got somebody else on the line right now, and I'll call you back if anything. Anyway, and Ish says he was talking about Kurt Franklin and the Ludacris joint. Them shits was trash.
You just threw that in there.
I'm telling you, that's what he said. It's on the screen. But yo, Jen, you was looking forward to this. Let us know what's your assessment as a female. I want to know how you feel about this.
Yeah, for me, Brandy definitely won. In
Brandy
the beginning, won? It was, yes.
Hold on. Say it right. Hold on. Say it right. Say Brandy smoked Monica's sandals.
Bring up the sandals.
She smoked the sandals.
But yes, Brandy definitely won.
All right, tell us why.
Slow. In the beginning, I think Monica had one up on her for a little while, but I don't know if that was strategic. But when it came to one, yeah, Brandy definitely won.
Okay.
Between the two. But everyone keeps speaking on the awkward or Brandy was shady or that awkward moment. I
Yeah.
think that's just their personalities because I've also seen both of them in concert.
Right.
And actually, how they talk is how they perform. Like when Monica's on stage, she just in the end, big production. She just sits there with the microphone and sings her hits. Well,
Right.
Brandy is all that typical Brandy, like smiley and bubbly and friendly. I don't know if she's still going to socially awkward, but I think that's just their personality. They're complete opposites in that.
We got a comment for you, Lord Vell, who just called up saying Monica got more hits. Stop it.
Come on, Lord Vell. Come on, man.
And then he also says Brandy plays some mid. Nah,
Monica,
go ahead.
Monica has hits, but Brandy's hits are more. What's that word? What do you call it?
Nostalgic. When I was saying they're more nostalgic.
Yeah, probably. It's just Monica. I know all of the songs. I'm a '90s R&B head, so I knew.
Growing up, you listened to them both, though, right? Growing up, you listened to them both, right?
Yeah.
All right, so they both had nostalgia for you, basically, right?
Yeah. Then they also sing about different things. But I'm not even saying female members, but I just think Brandy was. And Monica was also just sitting there.
I mean, they both was kind of just sitting there. I think Monica, first off, Monica had on some like real tight pleather pants that made it look like it was hard for her to move. And then Brandy has some real like, parachute jeans on. It was kind of, they both was looking a little crazy if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the one to judge fashion, but they both was looking a little crazy if you ask me. You feel me? But but Monica definitely was wearing some shit like she couldn't move around like that too crazy. You know what I'm saying?
But that's also, something their personality. I think Brandy, I've noticed over the last few years, like more one of those free spirits. Just the way they dress and speak,
So overall, did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I thought I was reliving my youth.
No doubt, no doubt. I'm not going to say too much, but you already know. We talked about a celebration coming up. You still trying to make that?
Yeah.
All right, that's what's up. So I'm gonna talk to you behind the scenes. All right, sis. Love you. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
All right, peace.
Peace.
All right, so we got a call. I'm gonna see who that was calling us. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna actually call you back. Whoever that was calling us, I am calling you back. But before I do that, I'm gonna read this comment from J Cap. Brandy makes music for young ladies. Monica makes music for grown folks.
That's what we talking about. We grown here.
And her songs age better. I will give Monica this. She had a song that she premiered a new song, and that shit was fire. That gang shit, that shit was fire.
No, I'll say this too, right? Growing up, listen, if we go just I'm gonna keep a buck with you. Growing up, I thought the boy belonged to Brandy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I thought Monica was the side chick growing up.
Oh Lord.
Oh, I ain't know what's
going on. Good. Talk your shit.
No, I ain't know. Then as I get older, man, I started realizing like, man, Brandy was kind of on some childish ass shit.
You don't even like her as a character no more. I see you going in on Moesha on Facebook.
Moesha was
yo.
All right, so who this is? This DJ Dr. Hollywood?
You already know, yo. I feel great, yo. Hot 97 don't even call you back. You know what I mean? The rise was busy. The Rant morning show, man. Listen, y'all, the hottest thing going on in the morning. You already know what it is.
Yo, give thanks, brother. Give thanks. But yo, as a DJ doctor, as a DJ Dr. Hollywood, what's your assessment, man? Tell us what happened.
It was Brandy won. It's automatic. Like at the end of the day, I didn't even watch it.
He said
I didn't even watch it.
How you don't watch it and say
I didn't even watch it because Brandy got. Obviously, like this. My assessment is Brandy's hottest, like the hottest song right now. Like to me, Brandy that didn't even beat Brandy's song with Kanye. You know what I mean? Brandy has songs with Kanye. Brandy has songs that went into like 2006 and better. Around 2001.
Let me stop you.
You know what I mean?
That song with Kanye was trash. Okay?
What are you talking about?
That shit was whack.
But now,
and I was a huge Kanye fan at the time.
When it takes no, yeah, and then Kanye hit you with the, I wanted to think about Reese's Piece. Oh man, come on, that was classic Kanye, pink polo Kanye.
Yo,
don't tell me that.
After, go ahead, Steph.
I was a huge Kanye fan, and bro, and I just got to keep it a buck with you, man. That was hot garbage. That song was trash.
Nah.
Kanye verse was cool.
That was playing all, yeah. That was playing all through the radios and stuff. That's one of the.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you like this. After,
and it still bumps. And I can play it at a baby shower, and it still bumps.
Now, let me ask you this: when the last time you heard that song actually played out in public?
Like not in public, but on the radio. 108 Soul plays that song. Shout out to 108 Soul on the Soul in New York, that radio station. They plays that on the regular. You know what I mean?
That's Sirius XM FM channel you just named, man.
I'm saying though. Hot 97 don't get Hot 97 failed New York with music in general, so it's like
they playing in your face, bro. They be playing in your face. They be playing the New York face, man.
Oh yeah. That's, I think, Brooklyn Honcho's favorite quote from you. They're playing your face if you let them.
I hear. But nah, that's me. I like that song. And I just feel I was about to call Brandy. I was about to call her Moesha. Brandy has more hits than Monica, just straight up. Monica got 20 songs, but she don't got 20 hits. Brandy got at
I'm
least.
gonna tell you like
15,
this though, Hollywood.
15.
Check this out, Hollywood. Check this out, yo. It's a track she premiered. Monica premiered. That shit is fire. Just look at
Little Baby, right?
I don't remember who the rapper was on it. Actually, I didn't appreciate the rapper on it, but the song itself was fire. So look out for that shit, because I think it was a rapper on there, but her part was fire. The rapper didn't fuck it up, but the rapper wasn't needed. You know what I'm saying? So
okay, it's about time. It's about time she coming out with something like 20 years later.
Yeah, exactly. But
I mean, and just for the time.
Yeah, but yo, thank you for checking in. You know what I'm saying? We're going to read the rest of these comments and we're going to get to this next story. You know what I'm saying? We spent
all day.
Half an hour on the verses part, and it was well worth it. But, you know, we're going to read the rest of these comments. But, yo, thank you for calling in. Call in next time, man. Call in again.
Definitely. Yo, but you already know next time they got to sing the songs. Like, that shit was whack. I'm just catching all the back end. So you already know.
But, yo, let us know if there's anything you want to plug first before you hop off.
The Showcase magazine. I mean, if y'all know anything, want to learn anything about everything that's going on in hip hop, entertainment, everything, go to Showcase magazine, www.showcasemag, that's MAGZ, mags.com, and check that out and follow me at DJ Dr. Hollywood, DJ DR Hollywood. I play the most new music in the streets. Just listen.
And I'll vouch for that. All right, yo, Hollywood, man. Talk to you soon, brother.
Appreciate it. Peace.
Right, peace. All right, so I'm gonna read the rest of these comments, and let me take this number off before we get bombarded. But let me read the rest of these comments. So Louisville says, I have a love-hate relationship with Monica's song "Love All Over Me." Why? Because when I cheated on my girl, she kept playing that goddamn song when I would call her to talk. All right, yo, I gotta match you. I don't like people just spilling their beans and spilling all the information without me matching them. Now, I don't got a story about me cheating on a girl and her, pairing it with a song, but that song from what's the nigga name? He sung the song. I think his name is Darnell, some shit.
Darnell Jones?
Yeah, what was that song? Where I Wanna Be?
Where I Wanna Be.
Yeah, I had a girl cheat on me when I was a teenager, and then tell me that song was remnants of how she felt. She didn't know what she wanted to.
Do I stay? Do I leave? Should I go? Think about my life and what matters to me the most.
And that song is fire, but I can't listen to it no more. I can't listen to it after that, man. She violated. All right, let me see. Louisville Elite says that Brandy / Kanye song was some mid. Not loud. Stop it. And then Lord Bells in the League says Monica hits are played more. The only Brandy song they played on the radio is I Want to Be Down remix. All right, and J Cap says, if you've been locked up in county and had your girl hold you down with money on your books and on the phone, you ain't gonna understand why you should have known better. Is unbeatable. Well, I ain't never had money put on my books, so you're right. And Kalila. I think I said it right this morning. Kalila. I said it right, Steph?
I think that's what she said.
I think that's what she said. I was calling her Kalila. I think I was calling her
Kalia. You was calling her Kalila.
Kalila. All right. Grand Rising, family. Grand Rising.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. And then we got Smile 69 Network says that Brandy and Chris Brown's song was lit. And speaking of Smile 69 Network, we have Vanessa in the building. Vanessa Smiles, how you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was ranting.
She was in the comments trolling.
I enjoy ranting. Good morning, you guys.
Good morning. Good morning.
But yes, that Brandy and Monica song was super lit. I'm sorry.
Oh, which one?
Put it down. I'm gonna put it down. They're gonna put the love. I'm gonna put it down. They're gonna put the love.
Okay.
I forgot about.
Yeah. I'll be sleeping on Brandy.
That's
cool.
But again, that's a mid. All right.
It ain't loud.
So it looks like I said her name right. She sends me a kiss. Mwah. Back to you. Right. Chico says that LL remix of Sitting Up in My Room. Fire.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We could have had that without LL, if I'm just being God honest.
I agree.
You know what? We got to give these women their props, man, because that's the second song we said they need a rapper on. So they definitely can hold their own. So salute to them both.
Definitely salute.
And Antoinette says, good morning. Good morning to you, Antoinette. Good morning, Antoinette. And Zari says, Brandy has more hits, listen to more people, and hits listened to by more people, I believe they're trying to say. And I hope I said your name right. It says Zahari. I believe I hope I'm saying your name right. So I'm going to just say Z for now. I'm just say Z. And good.
I just want to say one last thing. Like, Brandy's hits were like up here. Monica's hits were like right here. But she was consistent. Brandy kind of fell off.
Yeah, you know what? I definitely would. I would take consistency over the fizzle out. You know what I'm saying? Over the high, go high fast and then fizzle out. But like I said, like Brandy had that nostalgia. She had that nostalgia feel. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like growing up, I definitely enjoy more of Brandy's music. You know what I'm saying? And I like Moesha too, nigga. I don't know why you.
Thank you.
Tell us
shit.
Moesha, Steph. Tell us why you hate
watching Moesha on Netflix. That shit's amazing.
Okay. All right. I don't know what your problem is, but me going back, listen, I liked it when we was kids, just like everybody else. I love, Moesha coming on. What? That's how it was when I was a kid. As a 30-year-old man going back watching that shit, it's like, man, she's stupid. Man, she could have avoided this. Why is she not listening to her parents? Oh my God. Why is Q wearing so much FUBU? No nigga on earth ever wore more FUBU than Q.
No, it's a little nostalgic to kind of see, like, that's why I was watching it, to see the shit that they was wearing, dumb shit that she was doing. Like, for me, like, I like seeing those spaces in time because it reminds me of a time period where niggas didn't really have a cell phone, where payphones were readily available. Like,
but I understand
beepers.
I understand that's a nostalgia point. I understand the nostalgia point, but it's just like I said, at 30, listen, you got a 2-story house in LA, California, and he's selling used Saturns. That means he's busting his ass. And you gonna come in his house being disrespectful? Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no, man.
Where when she didn't want the Saturn he bought her, that was hilarious.
And then Q bucked up at her. Oh, man, you bucked up at him? You serious? Q would have been dead that day.
Nah, but I like the fact that they brought it. Like, you got to think about all of the people that they introduced on those shows, and that's what I think about today. Like, I don't really know if there is a sitcom that exists right now in this day and time that actually introduced us into new artists, new comedy acts, the way that a lot of these shows did. You know, they had Bernie Mac on there, you know, Yvette Wilson, like a lot of people who had really, really great careers at that time were featured on that show and blew up, and in turn got other things due to that show. And I feel like watching that makes me think about what's happening right now, and I'm like, why is that something not a thing?
That's still a thing. I think we sleeping on Blackish. Blackish,
Really?
Blackish is putting
hold on.
I'm sorry. You talking about corny?
Who is Blackish introducing like that though?
They put Deion Cole on the map.
I like Deion Cole though. Yeah,
Deion Cole is hilarious. I don't think a lot of America would have knew about that.
You know what? I'm not gonna argue that, but I knew about him. You know what I'm saying? But I know about a lot of comedians that.
But yeah. I'm big in comedy, so I knew about it. But when I see him on Blackish, it seemed like he was upward.
He got that Netflix deal.
All right. So we got some comments coming in still on the Monica topic, so I'm gonna read some of those before we move on. Z says Monica is more of the kicking down doors. Hold on, my fault. Say it again, my fault. I had the mic muted because my mic turns off when sounds coming from the other stuff. Go ahead, say it again.
No, I was agreeing with Zaria when she was like, yeah, that's exactly she actually says it in her lines. Kick down your doors and smack your chick. Just to show you Monica ain't having that.
And J-Cap says laziest verses ever. They learned nothing from Beanie Man and Bounty. They barely got out of the chair and they lip sync "Boy Is Mine." You know what? J-Cap is not capping. He's talking. He's talking some real shit. He's talking some real shit, yo. I ain't gonna front because when they lip sync "The Boy Is Mine" at the end, I was like, come on. But at the same time, I took it for what it was. What it was they voices ain't the same. Let's just be real. They was gonna embarrass themselves. So, but I feel you though. And as far as the Jamaican verses, like they did what was called as a clash. Like clashes, that shit ain't new to Jamaicans. You know what I'm saying? So they clash all the time. You feel me? Matter of fact, that's not the first time Beanie Man and Bounty ever clashed. No. You can look up older clashes where they went in. You know what I mean? At I think it's called Sunfest, and there's another one I might be messing up. So
and I'm surprised The Boy Is Mine didn't translate better with the next generation, because I think every woman at some point has had community dick. So it's just surprising that didn't, keep going on with time.
All right. Let me see. Kalila says I'm going with Brandy all the way. And me too. I think Brandy smoked Monica's sandals. All right. Roselle in the league says, what happened to Brandy's career? She was hot when I was young. I watched Brandy's movies and TV shows. What happened to her career? I mean, like we said, she probably fizzled out from blowing up so fast, you know what I'm saying? But
no, she got into that accident where she, took somebody out of this world.
But she wasn't popping when she killed that person.
I got a
yeah, that's true.
I got to quote Jay on this one. You had a spark when you first started, but now you're just garbage.
Oh, shit.
All right, so let me see. Z says at least Brandy was singing something. Monica was hardly even holding the microphone. Brandy when she played her small solo, asked Monica to join, and she didn't. Brandy drops mics. So Z is definitely going hard for
Monica.
Brandy.
Oh, for Brandy.
And let me see. Sleazy Aki said he had to. He from Queens. Talking about Q. Fubu and fatigues. Fubu and fatigues. My nigga Q. Fubu and fatigues. But speaking of Q though, what I used to like was how how they used to be like, you ain't from New York, and he used to have to prove he was from New York and shit. It's a fake New York accent and shit. Kalila says, change of topic, Yusef Hawkins. So Kalila, did you watch it? Because I would love for you to call up and talk to us about the documentary if you watched it. I did want to hit one more pop culture one more pop culture topic before we go to that. But we have one more call. Let's see. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Well,
Yep. Jen, hey, what's up, Jen? Talk.
hey.
What's up? They got under your skin in the comments. What happened?
Yes. No, I had to call it with Stephon. They're talking about Brandy. She didn't put out music. I watched the whole thing because he wasn't in there. So Brandy specifically stated that she hadn't put out music in years because of her record label problems. So that's what she stated. That she said she couldn't put it out. And she even said Monica said she was able, to hold it down while she couldn't put out music for years.
Well, that happens, especially artists from that time period. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some artists from this time period are gonna come across that shit too with them 360 deals they signing, but that happens. Like they used to sign some really bad deals back then, and to get out of them, unless somebody else wanted you, unless another, for lack of better words, slave owner wanted you, you know what I'm saying? Then you're not going to get out of your contract that easy, and they're going to shelf you. So that's a good point. Word. Thanks for letting us know that. Word. And,
so that's why Monica is able to put up music, because I know she has, like she said, she has her independent label. She was putting out music here, but I had to call back in when they were like, Brandy hasn't put out anything. I was like, oh no, she cleared that up.
Right.
Yeah, but another problem, she definitely won though when she sang her solo, and Monica was not even trying. Brandy even said a couple times for her to sing. I don't know why Monica wouldn't sing, but yeah. Like in the comments,
it's not a mystery. They don't have the same voice.
Yeah, but she didn't sing along to like any of her songs. She might have added like a couple ad libs.
Nah, but
and I feel like.
But J Cat made a good point. They had the mic like to they fucking stomach. Like they was not trying to. Both of them was not trying to sing. Brandy did a couple ad libs or whatever, but they was not trying to sing. They was not trying to embarrass themselves. Yeah, they was on some. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
But all right, so I'm gonna let you go. We're gonna read the rest of these comments because we definitely got to talk about a couple things and then get to the Yusef Hawkins documentary. But thanks for calling and clarifying that. We appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, I just had to say that. All right.
Peace. So there you have it. Let me see. Lorville in the League says, did y'all notice that they kept 1.1 million people watching? I did notice that. And it was funny because they used to inflate the numbers when the rappers would get up there. Oh, they always go like 100,000 more and shit like that. Like this one, they had 1.1 and I think they had like 1.2 was the highest I saw. 1.2 million people watching. And that didn't even include the people that was watching on YouTube. So that was, and Apple. There's people watching on Apple Music this time too. So that was pretty dope. And I think that's because women know how to support more than dudes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the other shit that they had going on was for the dudes, and for the most part, and we catch that shit when we catch it. Women, they're gonna support. You know what I mean? So
this one was better promoted with the memes and everything. When the memes got going before the official one, and they gave us 2 weeks notice.
Yeah,
so you gotta know for 2 weeks that was coming up, opposed to where they hit us on Thursday that they finna do the shit on Wednesday.
Nah, that Teddy Riley shit was promoted for like 2 weeks.
And they still can get their shit together.
They got their numbers. Like motherfucker was tuned in that first one. That was Teddy problem.
I was so angry. I don't even want to relive that moment. That shit would have me so tight. That moment, I did like what I did was a little private screening on this program right here. Me and my people just had drinks and everything. Was watching that shit, and that shit was a flake.
And let me say this too, because we clown Teddy right for trying to do the whole performance and shit. Now what they doing at every live battle?
Yeah, it's
performances. Yeah, it was like y'all not do all that.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not always full performances now, but it's a full production now.
Right, and which was Teddy was trying to do. Now when you're the first one to try to do something. And it failed, you're going to be the butt of the joke. But he really opened the door because they motherfuckers doing exactly what he did now. And I'll just be like, play the records. I don't care if you can sing anymore. I don't.
Nah, but let me tell you.
And I damn sure don't want to hear rappers rap over their songs.
But this the thing. The thing, though. Hold on. This is the thing. Teddy Riley, excuse me. Teddy Riley tried to blame Babyface. He tried to blame Babyface when his shit was fucking up. Oh, I think it's your side. No, nigga, it's your side, nigga. Teddy just got his phone set up sitting in the studio, nigga. You had everything going on. You feel me? Then he had that background dancing, nigga. Exactly. I was.
That nigga was breaking a sweat back there.
It was too much. It was too much. I wasn't feeling it. Now, if he owned his shit, if he would have owned his shit, you feel me? And even if in the middle of the, because you know technical difficulties happen. We have technical difficulties. Everybody has. With this technology is not perfect. You know what I'm saying? But if he would have said, you know what, give me 2 minutes, y'all, and then he would have just simply put his phone on. You know what I'm saying? Just said, fuck it. We just gonna go with the phone and go with and make it happen. I would have forgave the nigga. You know what I mean? But instead they made us wait like a whole nother week or half a week or whatever it was. The momentum wasn't there. It was fucked up. You know what I mean? But all right, I'm gonna read the rest of these comments. Miss Ravioli said, many I'm biased. I think she meant maybe I'm biased. When it comes to Monica and ATL, Monica is all over the radio, even today. Sometimes she's a guest host on the radio. She's singing the anthem at games. Monica is a professional boss.
Respect to that comment, but Monica's national anthem, trash. Okay, that was trash. Did you hear it?
No. Oh my God, I'm disappointed now. Damn.
Yo, I'm gonna send you that national anthem.
Oh,
I was like, oh man.
Is it worse than Fergie?
Ooh, Fergie was on some old goofy what's the name? Marilyn Monroe types trying to sing like.
Yeah, I was like, bitch, this is not the time.
Right. That shit was, Fergie shit was goofy.
All right. Excuse me. It says Sunfest and Reggae Sunsplash. Yeah, that's what it was. Yes. It was Sunsplash. Keenan, salute to you, homie. Virginia Slim says, Pete, good morning. Good morning to you, Virginia Slim. You know what I mean? Always good to see you in the check-in. Keenan as well. Kalila said twice. She watched the documentary twice. So we definitely gonna get to that. Please be patient.
Yes. Let's get to it. Shout out to Brooklyn Honcho for the
oh yes. Shout out to Brooklyn Honcho because he sent me a donation as well. And Brooklyn Honcho is a real supporter. I don't know if this is him that is on other platforms too. I was watching Nino because I watch a lot of different people. I was watching Nino Brown and I heard him shout out Brooklyn Honcho and I'm like, yo, this nigga's an all around straight up supporter. Like, I think that shit is all love and that's really, really a great thing, man.
And Grapes to Sleep. Y'all know who that is?
Yeah, that's Sleazy Aki.
Sleazy. Okay. Appreciate you, Sleazy, man. And Mills Lane, but he not in the comments right now.
Oh, yes. Mills Lane, too.
I give him a shout out.
Mills Lane is right there. He's the next comment. Mills Lane.
Oh. Yeah. Shout out to Mills. Yeah, shout out to you, brother.
Good morning, man.
Yeah, good morning, Mills Lane. Good morning, Mills Lane. And also, yes, I received your donation to Brooklyn Honcho. Salute to you, boss. Real talk, man. This program today has been sponsored by Brooklyn Honcho.
Salute, man.
Salute. Let me see. Laura Vanelise says Monica and Brandy stole some clothes from Erica Badu closet. Yo, I am gonna hold you. Monica's pants was looking crazy, and Brandy's pants was looking crazy too. But I was feeling Brandy's jacket though. I was feeling her jean jacket with the graffiti on it.
And I say this too: when you were watching from your phone, if you know, I guess with the strings being so high, it didn't look that great. But when I put it up on the TV, it was okay. It was okay.
I don't know. Monica pants look like she put a bunch of like duct tape, like wrapped duct tape around her legs all the way to. This shit look crazy.
No. Monica looked silly. I was talking about Brandy. She didn't look. It really didn't look that bad when I see it close up. I'm like, oh, it's not that bad. No, not like everybody was clowning.
Right. All right. J-Cap says they was in desperate need of an auto-tune mic and hot tea with lemon and honey goat weed. Yeah, man, you're right. And lemon and honey. I thought you meant honey goat weed, the herb, but you meant honey. Yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right. Virginia Slim says, I'm still waiting for the Primo versus Jay Dilla battle. You know, that would be dope, but since we already seen Primo, we need to see somebody else versus Jay Dilla. And rest in peace to Jay Dilla, but we need to see like I think I heard somebody else say this. I think maybe it might have been Lord Bell. We need to see like Madlib, somebody like Madlib or somebody, you know, or even I take Kanye versus Jay Dilla.
Who?
Kanye versus as a producer versus Jay Dilla.
I don't know who Jay Dilla is, man. No disrespect.
I mean, I won't take the disrespect then, but Jay Dilla is a superstar producer who passed away too soon, who produced a lot of great songs for a lot of people, including, I think he even produced for Kanye as well. He produced Mos Def, Talib, a lot of people in that community, you know what I'm saying? And he's from Detroit, and a lot of people, including Erykah Badu, they sing his praises, and he's behind a lot of dope shit that you would never even know he was behind if you didn't know who he was. Yeah. So Jay Dilla is that dude. I think he passed away from lupus, if I'm not mistaken. J Cap says, did y'all speak on the Chameleon Harris throwing on the pandering at the beginning of the show? I didn't speak about that yet. He said throwing on the black scent. Yo, so you saw that stuff? Did you see that part?
Yeah, I seen that. I seen that part.
Yeah, nah, we didn't speak on that. J Cap. J Cap is on fire today. J Cap should be hosting this part of the show because he took all the notes. J Cap took all the notes. Yo, I meant to talk about that part too. She came on. She had on her like casual like sweater, shirt, or whatever the fuck that was. And she was trying hard, and she was talking about she grew up on them or some dumb shit she was talking about.
She grew up on them.
Something like to that effect. I loved your music and all this shit. And it was really forced, if you ask me. I felt like they thought it would be, oh yeah, it's a good idea. You know, vote blue and all that shit. But it was just corny. It was really corny to me.
They brought her in the versus battle?
Not in.
No.
They brought her on the television. Yeah. They put her on the television.
Oh my God. So thirsty for votes.
Yeah, that shit was corny.
I don't have no problem with you being there if you real about why you being there. Hey, sorry to interrupt this time, but we still got a lot of shit going on. Y'all need to come vote. Why? That's it. But you're like, oh man, I was a fan of y'all. Stop it. I don't hear that.
Nobody want to hear that dumb shit. Brooklyn 100 said, did Vanessa get my Cash App the other day, or was it the wrong person? Just so I know. And
yes.
Okay, there you go, Brooklyn.
Thank you so much. It's greatly appreciated. We really, really love and I really appreciate your support, truly.
Salute, Brooklyn Honcho. Yo, be safe on that road out there too. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. And when you cross that bridge, when you get into Delaware, the speed limit changed, my nigga. They pulled me over one time, man. Speed limit changed on that. Once you cross that bridge, bro, speed limit changed right there, nigga. So just be easy. Be easy.
They know that too. They be having a copper right there on the bridge. You can't see him, so he gonna get you as soon as you come down speeding.
So be easy. I ain't wishing nothing. I'm wishing it safe on you. So, you know what I mean? Be easy. You know, do the speed limit. Relax. You know what I'm saying? Play some smooth shit when the show go off. And, you know, get the Delaware safe, my dude. Get the Delaware safe. Miss Ravioli says, Louisville in the league. She's laughing. Keep in mind that she's an artist and she's sensitive about her shit. And Louisville the League says, yeah, that was some BS when they had Camilla Harris on there to pander. Sleazy Aki is laughing. And Louisville in the League says, Miss Ravioli, I'm just saying, they were dressed crazy as hell. They definitely sounded crazy. And Miss Ravioli says, trash anthem. And Keenan says, Brandy over Monica. Yeah, I agree. And speaking of Jay Dilla, Keenan says a Detroit legend, definitely a Detroit legend, hip hop aficionado. My boy Chico says rest in peace to Jay Dilla. Yes, rest in peace to that man. Z says that promo with Mekhi Phifer was classic. The boy is mine. Yeah, shout out to my homegirl Psycho. She sent me that promo before the battle. That shit was definitely cool. Virginia Slim says Ninth Wonder or Kanye producer would be dope versus Jay Dilla. Exactly. And for those of you who don't know who Jay Dilla is, if you see Jay Dilla's music up against Ninth Wonder or Kanye, That will prove the point. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, it's so crazy they got Jay Della's MPC in a museum. That's how crazy it is. That dude is a fucking genius on that shit. Milzane says Kay Harris listened to Brandy and Monica when she was in college with the upside down emoji. Yeah, like just like she said she was listening to Snoop and them smoking weed. Yeah, we don't believe you. We don't believe you.
You need more people.
Keenan says sidebar. Raheem Devon. I forget how to say that nigga's last name.
Raheem Devon.
All right, thank you. Versus Anthony Hamilton would be dope. I guess. I can see. I mean, Anthony Hamilton.
I was gonna say he don't got enough music to battle Anthony.
No, Anthony Hamilton got some hits. I don't know if Raheem got enough hits.
But that's what I'm saying. Raheem Devon don't have enough music to battle Anthony.
He got music, but them shit ain't hits.
Yeah. He definitely kept coming out with music. It's quality music, but don't nobody know it.
Right. Laura Vanelli says Camila didn't grow up on nothing, and she didn't lie about listening to Snoop Dogg when he wasn't even out. I think he meant she did lie and about listening to Snoop when he wasn't out. Yeah, the time didn't match up when she was in college and when Snoop was out, and she claimed she was listening to Snoop. You know, she probably was listening to motherfucking Tone Loc or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what she was listening to. Keenan
You think she'll go around smoking weed to Funky Con Medina?
Yeah. That and wow, dang. Yo, sidebar. I met Tone Loc when I was young too in New York. Word. Cool brother, man.
He seemed like a cool nigga just from TV.
Oh, he's a cool brother for real. Keenan Khan said, Mills, she was sipping lean too. And Z said, Michelle Obama was in the comments. That ain't the first versus Michelle in the comment was in Michelle Obama was in the comments for neither. Obama was in the comments for a few other ones. I think Michelle Obama was definitely in the comments with the Jill Scott and Erica one as well. Virginia Sims says, Music Soul Child versus Anthony Hamilton. That I can see.
Okay.
And Ish Chigo says Snoop was in middle school. And Redemption Song says salute. And we got laughter. So we made it to the end of the comments for now. So we're going to get to this rumor before we even clear it up. And then we're going to get to the review. Like we said, we want to review the Yusef Hawkins documentary, Storm Over Brooklyn. And, and Lorville says Lenny Kravitz was in the comments, no doubt. So, but there's a rumor going around. And Steph, you sent this to us.
Yeah. You know we can't follow the documentary with this.
I think we could because, like I said, I kind of spoiled it already, but we're going to clear it up. We can definitely follow it up. I'll show you. I'm going to segue it. Watch this. So, so we ain't go too left today. So basically, the rumor has it that Usher broke the singer The Weeknd's nose. So this website, I never heard of this website, but this website comes to us. This article comes to us from Izzo.com. It says R&B singer Usher fights The Weeknd and broke his nose. It's been reported that U.S. R&B singer Usher got into a brutal fist fight with R&B singer The Weeknd, and Usher allegedly broke The Weeknd's nose. Hollywood insiders shared that for months, the two superstars have several disagreements behind the scenes. On Thursday, paparazzis caught up with The Weeknd, and photographs leaked confirmed that The Weeknd's face has been damaged, showing two black eyes and a popped lip and a busted one. Online music fans question how was Usher able to beat The Weeknd so badly. However, it's been discovered that Usher's picked up the sport of boxing 6 years ago while filming the biopic on boxing legend Sugar Ray Leonard. The rivalry between the two artists went public in 2019 when The Weeknd gave an interview to Variety, and the Toronto singer claimed that Usher's 2012 hit Climax was stolen from him. According to the Blinding Lights singer, Climax sounded like his own work, which some took disrespect to Usher. The Weeknd explained, I heard Climax, that Usher song, and I was like, holy fuck, that's a Weeknd song, he said. It was very flattering, and I knew I was doing something right. But I also got angry. But the older I got, I realized it was a good thing. So here's the weekend with us, alleged broken nose. Do you guys believe that that's makeup, or do you think that's real?
I believe it's makeup because I thought that wasn't he doing this for the entire promo of his new album that he recently came out with? Even in the video where he's out in Vegas, there's parts of the video where he looks like he's beaten up. So I thought that this was like a promo thing for his new album. And secondly, I do have to agree with the Weeknd on this whole swagger jacking thing that Usher has been doing the past couple of years. Because even, Usher had gotten on the Chris Brown wave for a quick second and, was stealing like the way Chris Brown was moving, stealing his vocals and how he was doing things. Like Usher has lasted through the test of time, but I feel like to maintain himself, he's definitely been like stealing a couple of things for sure.
Well, it seems to be that's what mainstream artists do. Steph, what's your take on this? You said this to us, so you got to chime in.
Yeah, actually, I disagree vehemently. When Climax dropped, I didn't know who Weeknd was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't big enough to say that's my sound yet. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, but I mean to cut your wisdom short, but that shit happens though. People on their way up, a lot of people in the industry hear about them before we do.
True indeed. But how long for you to say that's not my song, not that you actually stole my song, but you stole my style and you're brand new?
That was what Little Kim said about Nicki Minaj.
Mm-hmm.
No, okay. that would have to be the other way around.
That would exactly. See, understand? Weeknd came out. Weeknd really broke on the scene with that song he had with Drake, right? That was in 2012. Usher Climax dropped 2012. You see what I'm saying?
He said that's a Weeknd song, not style. He said song.
He didn't take the song. He know that's not a stealing song. But you know what? Also, as a former rapper, try to be rapper and a writer, I've wrote shit and I've heard other artists say something very similar. You know what I'm saying? Like I wrote a line where I was like, these niggas. I was like, I gotta keep it real because these niggas faking. It's like they eating pork chops, screaming "Assalamu alaikum," and then Nicki Minaj got a line about something like that. It was close, right? I remember I said something about 40K. 40K. I'm on these chicks gotta notice me. Swag on tilt, game proper, so you know it's me. Everything equipped to bag a bitch like groceries. And then I hear in the song "Weatherman" it was Jim Jones song, but it wasn't Jim Jones. It was a nigga featured on it. And he said something about bag a bitch like groceries. And I was like, damn, I've never heard these songs before, but yet we have very similar ideas, very similar rhymes. And to think that can't happen in music, like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? That you raised a good point, and that happens in business a lot too. It happens in general. There was a whole documentary out there. I forget the name of it, but it was about how there's nothing new under the sun.
And peep this, me and my brother just came to me. My little brother called me up and talked about starting up an app. And this app idea that he has, I thought of this 4 years ago. Because I know exactly where I was when I thought about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, like nobody ever thinks of it. It's like who actually thinks of it and can do it.
Right. So what I started to say, and I mean to cut you off when I said it too, but there's a documentary about this, right? And it's about how people come up with the same ideas, sometimes even at the same times, to the point where the documentary even identified times in the past where people put in a patent for the same invention on the same day in different parts of the world or different parts of the country. So I'm a firm believer of ideas don't fall into one person's mind. So I feel you on that. That's a good point. I'm gonna go to these comments before we dig a little deeper into this, and I'm gonna put this dude face back on the screen because it looks funny. So Redemption says, salute the Redemption. Virginia Slim says, yo, I peeped that horrible Photoshop. Come on, son. And Internet says, The Weeknd always looked like he got his ass beat. You know, so that's a good point too. He's always looking like he just woke up from a long night of The Hangover. He always look like he's fresh out of the Hangover movie or some shit. Laura Vanderlee says, people forgot Usher is from Tennessee. We don't play down here. And Virginia Sim says, Usher out here gifting females with herpes, allegedly.
Now, I find it so convenient. Oh, my bad. Just keep going to the comment. I just find it convenient, like, because that's the thing. Like, when it came out that she didn't have herpes and he didn't have herpes, like, no one talked about it, but everybody was talking about the news when she was spilling these allegations.
Well, you know, bad news travel fast. Bad news travel fast, and it's very funny to hear or appealing to hear Usher gave herpes to like a fat broad. Nevertheless, you know what I'm saying, the backstage of his concert. So, I mean, that would spread more than the good news or the real news. So, is what it is. J Cap says Usher been rich for too long. He wouldn't punch his way out of a paper bag at this point. Sorry. This story sounds like cap. I mean, I don't know. You know, niggas get rich and then they have trainers and, they do. This nigga probably do backflips like Chris Brown and all types of shit. You never know, man.
I was just about to say, like, LL beat up a nigga for breaking into his house and beat him up and held him until the police came. So you run up on a nigga just because you think you rich and soft if you want to. It's certain, you know who to try. And Weeknd has a very punchable face. I think this must be noted.
I don't know, but you know what? To J Cap's point though, because he's been on point all day, all morning. I'm gonna say this: Weeknd is closer to the struggle than Usher. He's definitely closer to the struggle than Usher. So I think if they had a fight, if this fight is real, the Weeknd will have more to prove. You know what I'm saying?
He from Canada though.
So don't sleep on my Canadians. You know what I mean?
I'm sleeping.
Canadians ain't looking too good right now.
Okay. We're gonna have to get Soke up here to defend Canada, even though she's from France, but she live in Canada. But it says, remember that Weeknd versus American Dream beef. Shaking my head. I don't remember that. We have to look into that. Z says Genuine versus Tyrese. That would be a dope versus.
I'm for it.
That would be a dope versus, but Genuine can't be doing that Twitch shit he was doing when they had a group together. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that shit? They had a group together. I think it was.
What was it? TBT?
Yeah, and they did a performance for some type of talk show, and Genuine was looking like he was twitching. He was looking crazy. He was twitching like on the side, like his eyes were twitching, his neck was twitching. It was looking real crazy out here. Virginia Slim says, at Ja, that's called collective consciousness. No doubt. That when you talk about when the ideas come into, everybody's mind around the same time. And I believe in that, you know what I mean? Because sometimes we even create slang at the same time. You know what I mean? Sometimes we don't even have to spread the slang. We just might automatically start saying some shit at the same time. So I believe in collective consciousness. That's some real shit. It's just laughing. Keenan says Steph sounded like TK Kirkland. I'm the one who told Jay-Z put the hyphen in his name.
Who raised you?
Keenan also says Usher probably got hands. He played Sugar Ray in his biopic. All right, so I wanted to go into this other article really quick about this story that basically saying that it ain't true. And it's coming from People's Magazine. You know what I'm saying? It's coming from People's Magazine. And it reads that this is coming from people.com. The Weeknd says he and Usher never had a feud. He's one of the reasons I make music. And they quote him saying, I have nothing bad to say about Usher, the sweetest, most down-to-earth guy ever, the Starboy singer told Esquire. And I don't think we got to read too much more, but basically what I will say is when I looked into it, I believe they was also saying that his the makeup wasn't for a video. It was actually for a stance he did when he won an award on MTV recently. And when he won that award, he's basically saying that makeup was like in reference to like police brutality. I think Breonna Taylor, things of that nature. So I think he was basically making a statement with the makeup. You know what I mean? I think he was making a statement, and it wasn't for a video. So basically, he said it's not true. I take his word for it. And unless Usher comes out in a DJ Vlad interview talking about how that time he beat the shit out of the Weeknd, I'm gonna just say it wasn't true. You know what I'm saying? And ladies and gentlemen, we have Schoolboy in the building.
What's up, everybody?
What's happening, Schoolboy?
Man, your mic is a little low.
All right, can you hear me now?
I mean, we hear you, but it's low for me, so I know it's lower for the audience.
Switch it up.
Yeah, just make sure you check your audio and video option and make sure everything is everything.
And I want to comment on that last article real quick, just a small point.
Yeah.
He was saying all these nice things about Usher, saying he was kind and he's the reason I made music. That sounds like the tune of somebody who just got their ass whipped. Respectfully, like if I just beat your ass and you don't want no more, you don't want no problems with me no more. Like no, that dude, that's a solid dude. He be working hard, making music. You know what I'm saying? He been in the game. I ain't got nothing bad to say about Usher. He a sweet guy. You know what I'm saying? he nice with his kids.
Yo, all right, so check it out, ladies and gentlemen. My Schoolboy. Can we get a mic check real quick before we get into this?
Mic check.
All right, you definitely on point. So now we're gonna give you, as promised, and I hope Kalila is still in the audience. We're gonna give you a recap or review rather of the Yusef Hawkins documentary Storm Over Brooklyn. If you've been watching The Morning Rant, you will know that Yusef Hawkins Storm Over Brooklyn is a documentary of a young man, a young brother who was murdered in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, and by a mob. And this particular mob was a white mob. Apparently, there was a black guy in the mob as well. When you watch the actual documentary, they had that one black friend, and So and it was also the documentaries on HBO, but it was made and produced by a good friend of mine, Victorious De Costa, who also, it was two other people who produced it with him. One of them was the best friend of Yusef Hawkins. And this murder happened in 1989, I believe. Hopefully I'm not fucking up the years. But we couldn't do this review earlier on because the show we had went left. We tried to go on it. We tried to speak about it earlier on another episode, but the show we was going to speak on it went left. But we're going to talk about it now. And did everyone get a chance to watch this documentary on the panel, just so it'd be clear? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Yes.
Cool. We got a comment for Schoolboy. Lord Bell says, Schoolboy, what's up, Bishop Sharp?
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna be up in you guys' church houses talking about I'm a damn bishop. It's the last thing I'm gonna do.
All right, so we had to, we still going to engage in the funny stuff too, but we're going to talk about this serious topic right now, this serious movie that is, and so this documentary, Storm Over Brooklyn, the Yusef Hawkins story. Before we get into it in detail, I want to know, how did you feel about it? And we'll start with Steph. How did you feel about it when you watched this documentary? And try not to give us the full review, but just give us your general.
My general opinion of the documentary.
Yeah.
Okay. Watching the documentary, I enjoyed it. But also, like, of course, when you receive information about injustices in the Black community, you get a little upset, a little outraged, and it kind of triggers some buttons. It kind of pushes some buttons for me personally. But I feel like overall it was put together really well. It definitely illustrated real tension that like how we see it now, and it kind of just gives you the sense that, hey, it never really went away. You know what I'm saying? Like that tension that's here now was there then, even when they was trying to hide it. I'm just one line that sticks out of my mind from the documentary. is when I heard one of the white dudes saying, he said, we should just lay low, let it go away. Like, hold on, this is a life we talking about. So that's my synopsis. But no, it was really good documentary.
Yeah, I remember that line. I felt the same way you did. When that dude said that, I do remember that. It kind of was remnants of when they say, just get over it. Just get over it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, get over it. The fuck you talking about? You know what I'm saying? And if we abide by that narrative, they're gonna always tell us to get over it. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Schoolboy. Schoolboy, what was your thoughts on the documentary? The general thoughts before we go into specifics and notes and things like that. What was your thoughts? And your mic is on Teddy. There you go.
Yeah. Generally speaking, I'm looking at it like the New York's version of Mississippi Burning. So basically, like you said, they tried really hard, and they try even now. I got a guy who's an Italian on my Facebook feed. He's always like, we're always going back and forth about these different things, and he's always trying to be, well, I'm Italian, so I'm not really white. And I don't know if he knows where Italy is, but it's smack dab in Europe. So you're white, buddy. So yeah, man, they try to act like it doesn't exist, but it exists, and it's shown in so many different ways. Sharply, running through the city and stuff like that, doing all of the marches and whatnot, really brought it up to the fore, man. We're not gonna get into the review too tough right now, but absolutely, I felt that way, man. I was coming into work looking crazy, bro. Wasn't good.
You was tight.
I was a little bit tight, yeah, a little bit tight.
Yeah, I had a homegirl who watched it and she cried. Yeah, so I know how I can rate, and I was angry too, and I can see how a mother, especially too, can watch it and be, be a real touching story to digest. But in us as black men, the same difference. You know what I mean? Vanessa, what was your thoughts on the documentary?
Overall, I thought it was a very, very well put together documentary. I like how they reached out to all sides. Well, most of the sides that they really could get in contact with and have them on screen. I really think that it's important to see this because New York and a lot of other northern cities are usually painted as the liberal states across America. Usually, sometimes when you're down south, sometimes people feel like they know what they're getting. They're kind of expecting racism more, and I think that this was like definitely eye-opening, especially during certain periods throughout history in America. A lot of people left the South to escape racism. They left the South to come up north to, live a better life, to not have to, have crosses burned on their land and stuff like that. And so to see that the very things that people were escaping at certain periods of times were still existing in these cities, I think that it was really, really important for people to see that. And this documentary shed some light on, we'll get into the details, but it shed light on things that people thought the story was about, or like the reasons even why he went over to Bensonhurst in the first place. I thought it was really, really important, the fact that they, exposed these different myths and still showed like it was some fugazi shit as to why that man ended up losing his life. So
right, because they were trying to spin the narrative that
he went there for a girl, but he went there to buy a car. Like, come on, like that was wild to me. And I was like, oh wow.
Yeah. I gotta echo y'all points earlier. It definitely was touching. It was a very well put. I agree on the production. Like, I was really impressed by the production, as even from a cinematic eye. The different shots they were able to capture, the different interviews, like you said, the different sides that they were able to interview. They even interviewed the dude that was in jail for it. The documents they were able to retrieve, which Victorious, if you didn't watch Morning Rant episode 20, we interviewed the filmmaker who actually produced this film, and he spoke about getting the documents and how that part was fun for him, getting the court records. So all the information they were able to dig up, and all the people that they interviewed, and just the production, overall production was of great value. And I definitely want to ask anybody who hasn't seen this film, please go ahead and make your HBO account and watch this film, Storm Over Brooklyn. So now let's get into details. Let's get into specifics. Let's talk about things that that stood out to you. And I'll start with one because I took some notes, and I know Steph took notes as well. You got your notes with you, Steph? Hold on,
I
you
do.
do? All right, copy. So I want to say that the thing that stood out to me first was in the beginning when the cop talked about remembering the phone call. He talked about remembering the phone call, and he said that there's phone calls that there's different calls that you get that you'll never forget. And he said that one was right up there with like 9/11. I believe I quote him saying. So well, I'm paraphrasing, but he said it was up there with 9/11, which to me made a lot of sense because this is domestic terrorism. You know what I'm saying? But he put it right up there with 9/11. So I think Steph, we lost your audio. Oh, Steph, you back? Nope.
Yeah, my sound went out for a second.
All right, pardon me.
I got
But I was saying that you know, that cop saying that it was right up there with 9/11, the phone call, how he would never forget it. And I said it makes sense to me. I mean, of course, it's not the same magnitude as the plane hitting the building, but at the same time, it is domestic terrorism what they did to this young man. That's one of the things that stood out to me. If you guys want to go ahead and talk about anything that stood out to you, and I'll start with you, Steph, and then I'll recap what stood out to me outside of that if you guys didn't mention it. So I'll start with you, Steph. What like stood out in specific?
I got a lot I can get to, but the first thing I noticed that Al Sharpton was actually purposeful in his protest. That it wasn't just a random protest, right? So I noticed that I remember one of the people that they interviewed said some dumb shit. Like it wasn't an interview; it was just a clip. But it was like, "Oh, we're not racist. We just hate black people." Some shit, right? That they said, and so he was. I amend him for being shrewd enough to decide to protest in that neighborhood, not in the neighborhood where Yusuf was from, but in their neighborhood, and make them comfortable, and then make them uncomfortable, and show their true colors. And then, but don't miss this part. When when the public was trying to fight with the protesters, they were protecting the people, not the protesters. And that's what the police were there for, to protect the protesters. And it just shows you the bias. You see what I'm saying?
Right. That still happens to this day. That still happens to this day. You got people protesting, and the protesters are looked at as the criminals, and the people who are, you know, attacking the protesters are looked at as some type of heroes. And we saw that the other day with that crazy, that young dickhead kid who shot people up and got away with it, at least at the moment. Before you move on to anything specific, Vanessa, did you want to speak to that part, or Schoolboy?
Well, I did want to speak on something specific, but not exactly that. My main thing was, can you guys hear me? Yes. My main thing was I like the fact that his family humanized him. I like the fact that his family talked about him being a young person growing up in East New York, how they would play in the yards and stuff like that. I feel like people don't think about these things when, you know, someone loses a life. Even for, you know, people to say like, oh, please have to forget about these things. Like, no, this child grew up in Brooklyn just as many other children. He didn't grow up in that neighborhood in Bensonhurst, but he grew up not too far from there. He grew up in East New York. That could be anybody. That could be anybody's brother. That can be anybody's, you know, uncle. I mean, you know, like
right.
It was really, I feel like it was really, really good for the family to come out and humanize him and talk about, you know, his childhood and how he grew up and stuff like that, because this shows like there's a true loss at hand. Like you didn't just kill somebody who was a nobody. You killed somebody who belonged to a family. You killed somebody who was beloved. So, well,
respectfully, nobody's a nobody, right? But I
hear that's true.
I hear what you're saying. But Schoolboy, do you have anything to say to Steph? His one of the things he pointed out when he spoke about the protesting part with, you know, Al Sharpton going to you know, to protest in that particular neighborhood.
Yeah, man, like shout out to big ass Reverend Al, yo, because that was fat ass Reverend
Al. Yes, Al.
That's Reverend Al that was coming through with the chicken wings and shit like that. But yeah, man, I appreciate the fact that he was doing a different type of marching, but I think that time is super over with, man, super over with. But we'll see.
I mean, if we're gonna say it's over with now, we got to say that it probably should have been over with then, though. You know what I'm saying? Like that was just the 80s, you know. But at the same time, it's like I think what you're saying that, and Steph, what you're saying that I agree with is that Al Sharpton actually looked like somewhat of a hero in this scenario. We like to shit on Al Sharpton nowadays. You know what I mean? Like we got a joke in the audience. Even Schoolboy, said a joke. So Virginia Slim says Al was rocking the hell out of those track suits. But like J Cap said, spoiler, Al Sharpton caught that knife work. You know what I'm saying? Like Al Sharpton was out there protesting and got stabbed. You know what I mean? Protesting, and you can see it in this film. And guys, I never knew Al Sharpton got stabbed. I never knew he bled for the cause. You know what I mean? Like we make it seem like Al Sharpton is just like some government plan and all this other shit. You get a lot of bad rap, but Al Sharpton, that ass got stabbed up. And Schoolboy, correct me if I'm wrong or right. I don't know if I'm wrong, but a lot of people say Al Sharpton is like some type of snitch and all that because he snitched on the mob, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was
because they.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that it was because he was out here trying to sell packs with the mob, and he was like, "Yeah, I got you, I got you," and then went and snitched. I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to hit him up, but you gotta take it as what it is, bro. I don't know if you guys have seen Al Sharpton's news show. He do a whole lot of like, shucking jiving for the Democrats, like whatever they say go type shit, because he's trying to hold on to the bag. And y'all done seen this nigga out here dancing, man. That's a man dancing who white people gave a bag, yo. So that's the way you dance after you get a bag for white people like that.
So Redemption says Al is an agent, right?
Yeah, he is.
But this the thing, like I haven't heard any stories of him taking down any black folks. You know what I mean? And after seeing him take a knife for the cause, I'm a little bit more empathetic towards Al, man. I don't know, man. I look at Al in a different light right now.
Nah. The reason why you can't do that, and the reason why I like it, yo, I got a picture with Al, like we all shucking and smiling and shit in my graduation photo. So if that comes up, I did that shit. However, Al's a trip, man. And the thing about a person like Al, who's okay fence riding and taking the lesser of two evils, is that at the end of the day, man, you don't really know where your loyalties lie with somebody like that. Like you never know how he might be kind of finagling things in the background to kind of hem you up. So you got to be careful with stuff like that, man. And they don't be just letting, anybody who's been out here for the last 40, 50 years and they ain't had no real prison sentence. You know what I'm saying? The police will work with them pretty easily and things like that. They don't got to do no whole bunch of negotiations. I'm a little bit leery of people like that. It just is what it is.
You know what? Me too. But I never knew Al bled for black folks.
I remember him getting stabbed.
They stabbed this man in the chest. He stabbed him in it. Let me not make light of this shit. He alive.
It didn't really make a whole lot of impact because that was big Al, bro. They had to go through all kind of levels of epidermis. You know what I'm saying? They had to really go through a lot of skin and fat and shit. So it probably stuck him. He was like, "What the fuck is this?" Then I pulled the knife and the gravy started coming out, and I was like, "Yo,
I don't even think they arrested the dude who stabbed him. They said after he stabbed Al, they went after they kind of the people that try to fight the dude who stabbed him. They went after the people who fought the people who stabbed Al. You know what I mean? They didn't even go after the dude who stabbed them.
You know how the cops do, man. They can't wait to fuck somebody up when they really wanted to fuck up the folk that were walking on the aisle. It was like, oh shit, somebody stabbed him. Hit everybody. Let that white guy go.
All right, so and J-Cap says Al applied so much pressure he made the mobster snitch on the culprits.
That's some real shit though.
Yo, you feel me? But
they made the block hot.
Yeah, they made the block hot, so they had to have a meeting. I think who was it? What's the famous mobster name that they named in this joint?
I forgot.
I forget his name too. But no, it wasn't Gotti, but I forget the guy name. But it was a guy whose name ring bells. And
I don't know why Gambino was coming up, but I don't know if that's it.
It wasn't Gambino. But what happened was they said that like J Cap said, they made dude made them get the guy who they all said did it. But that brings up another point. Did that guy really do it, or did they just throw somebody under the bus? You know what I'm saying? So because the guy is still claiming that he didn't do it, And Redemption says my college roomie mom worked for Al. The stories. Okay, well, you know, I'm not going to discredit the stories that you've been privy to know. But however, we're not going to. This documentary is not about Al. This documentary is about you, Seth Hawkins, and I just want to say, if I ever did say anything, have anything good to say about Al, it would have to be what he did in this case, in this scenario. And the name was Sammy the Bull. Virginia Slim says Sammy the Bull. Yes, it was Sammy the Bull that they referenced in this joint.
Wait, and isn't Sammy the Bull? Wasn't Sammy the Bull like a big snitch too?
You know, this is the thing, man. You know, a lot of people in these organized crime shits be snitching once they get pinched. So I don't like to speak on what I don't know. So I don't know Sammy the Bull's story, but you know, I believe they named him in this documentary as the person that forced people to give up the kid or made the kid turn himself in. Anything stood out to you, Steph, that you want to speak on? Your mic is on Teddy Riley.
I just realized that. One of the things that stood out was when they said in the documentary that he said they blamed the girl for dating a black guy or messing around with some black guy. That's the reason that these two dudes got killed, because she messing with blacks. And I'm like, and it just shows you that racist people lack accountability. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not that I would expect too much from racists, but to think speaking up for a victim is trouble, but the fact that you think speaking up for a victim is troublemaking is weird, right? Like you literally got the wrong black guy. You just figured any black guy in this area had to be the guy that was messing with your girl.
Right.
Right.
Wasn't even a girl.
Black guy comes by, you just start chasing
right, and
some black kids.
And it wasn't even a girl, nothing like that. It was just a girl from the neighborhood that they were just mad at. And it was like, oh, she was like, I'm bringing in black people or something.
Yeah.
My fault. I kind of talked over you. So
I
kind of talked over you. So you can repeat the last thing you said.
I about to say, y'all go ahead.
You hear me, Steph?
I don't even know if y'all can hear me.
I don't think we can hear Steph. You might have to come back on, Steph. I don't think he heard me. So, Schoolboy, Vanessa, was there anything else you want to speak on, or Schoolboy?
Well, I was actually glad that you made that point just now as well, because that was a major factor into why those the mob actually attacked Yusuf Hawkins, because she lit a little bit of the fire. And the fact that she was not accused or prosecuted in any kind of way, I think that's some fugazi shit as well. Because if you tell a mob, you know, like if you already have, you know what the climate is, you already know what kind of tensions you have, you already know how people in your neighborhood is. Like people from New York, we know how dudes are. Even for me, like when I was young, I knew how dudes would react in the neighborhood if I brought somebody somewhere, you know. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't put that person in harm's way. And I think she knew intentionally what she was doing, but I don't think she knew to the extent of where it was going to go.
Yeah, but she couldn't predict that there was going to be 3 random black dudes come through the neighborhood and they
right.
Killed. So I don't know about that, but I hear what you're saying. She, you know, that she has some credibility. I mean, she's saying that accountability, but I don't know if it's jail time accountability. You know what I'm saying? But she definitely, you know, all she did was tell dudes, I'm gonna get some guys to come out here. You know what I mean? So I don't know because she can't, but she didn't know those dudes. She didn't predict that. She didn't pin them against each other. She just told these guys, I'm gonna have some guys come through. But Schoolboy, anything stood out to you? We're giving it, you know, it's a little bit of a spoiler what we're doing right now. If you didn't watch the documentary, it's been a week and some change since we told you to watch it. So I think we reserve the right to spoil you some of it. But Schoolboy, anything stood out to you? Anything else stood out to you that you want to talk on?
It's the ability for the people involved, white people specifically, to act like they're not racist, and then for us to actually see protests being harangued by screams of "Go home, nigger."
Mm-hmm.
with watermelons.
Mhm.
Like, come on.
Mhm.
Come on. And I get this from a lot of people. I'm not racist, I got a black friend and you know what? Here's another thing that I thought was really important. Remember the one black guy who was like, he was like, yeah, I brought the bats. And they were like, well, why'd you bring the bats? Well, we're gonna play a game. Yo, have y'all ever played baseball and everybody gotta have their own bat?
Never.
No, never. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't bring 1,000, you don't bring 10 bats out to play a game of baseball, bro. That's not what happens. But he was like, yeah, I had the bats, but when the shit popped off, he stayed in the park like a little bitch. And then he was like, yeah, of course, when you grow up and you're the only black guy and around a bunch of white people, like you're gonna have identity
Identity.
crisis.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had to side eye this goofy nigga through the whole thing because it's just like, bro, you participated and you just couldn't pull the trigger and really do the work when it came down to it. Not to mention, you're calling these people your friends, but these are the same people that was calling you all kind of monkeys and messing with you all through school. But these your damn friends. The sucker nigga, man. I can't stand people like that. I really can't.
Facts. Steph, you have anything to say about the one black friend?
He got on my goddamn nerves, man. And he looked like he was mixed with something.
I wouldn't know, but in this country,
Yeah,
for lack
man.
of better terms, they just gonna call you black anyway. So
yeah. Again, I just hate when black people allow themselves to be props. He was their punching bag. He was the butt of their jokes. He was that black guy who wanted to prove that we're not all like that. Well, we don't owe the motherfuckers no explanation, bro. We don't need white validation. I can't stand that.
Do you give his statement that he growing up as the one black dude in that area, it gave him identity issues?
I mean, I honestly believe yes, that played a part. I believe that played a part. But if you had anybody black in your family, you should have had some pride. Some pride in yourself. If you have mother there, father there, you should have just been proud of yourself and a level of what you were going to accept and what you weren't going to accept.
Right.
And the fact you chose to deal with that, you chose to be around a certain group of people. You chose those people who openly was saying the N-word in front of your face, like it wasn't disrespectful to you.
Facts. Vanessa?
Yeah, I just think that it's definitely something that a lot of black kids do, and it's more common now than back then. It's more common to see a bunch of black kids holding up the same ideologies of racist white kids. It's just like a really, really, really weird thing. But I did want to point out the fact that the mother, she talked about the plans that they had going forward, like with Yusuf's life later on. And also she made it in regards to comparing the white racists in New York to the rednecks. Rednecks are usually a term that people think about white people in the South. And, sometimes like hearing that, it's just a little bit eye-opening because it shows how severe these people were and what their mindset was and how they viewed black people right up here in Brooklyn.
Yeah, it definitely is something that, a lot of people don't think we dealt with that shit in New York, but they also mentioned like Howard Beach,
Yes.
what I mean? And me growing up in Far Rockaway, I always knew that, once that A train goes over that bridge for that one little, couple stops, you know what I'm saying? Just know that some racist motherfuckers over there that will attempt to harm you, you know what I'm saying? So that was pretty interesting that they mentioned that as well. And before I go to the comments, I do want to read out some of the points other things that I noticed. And Steph, if there's anything else that you want to talk about before we wrap up the review, feel free to get it. But I'm just going to go through my list. It was kind of a long list, but not too long. They mentioned how white people weren't when they were in poverty, like poor neighborhoods or poor black neighborhoods. They mentioned how we didn't fuck with them. You know what I mean? They mentioned how we didn't fuck with white people in the poor black neighborhoods. I thought that was interesting. So a lot of people often like to stereotype our neighborhoods or stereotype us as a people, like we're so violent. but they said it that, you know, in the middle of the crack epidemic, that if you were white and you were in a black neighborhood, you were either coming to get drugs or you were a cop or whatever. So either way, it was hands off. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was interesting and worth being noted. They also talked about in the 80s that racial crime was high. So at the same token, where we weren't attacking white people, racial crimes were high in the 80s. You know what I mean? So a lot of people like to say, oh, racism is dead and all this type of thing. But racial crimes were high in the 80s, even in New York City. You know what I'm saying? So that needs to be noted. I also thought it was pretty like ironic, to say the least, that both of the young people that earlier that day were returning videos. I don't know if they both rented, like, I guess like Blockbuster videos or something, and they didn't necessarily return them at the same Blockbuster, but they both had in their story that earlier that day they were returning videos. You know what I mean? So it's like two sides of Brooklyn doing the two exact same things, watching videos with their friends, hanging out, but then the difference is we're gonna kill motherfuckers over here just for being black. Whereas if those white guys would have went to the other neighborhood, maybe the worst that might have happened was they would have got heckled. You know what I mean? That would have been the worst thing, because they did speak about being called names or some shit like that. It's the worst thing that might have happened to them, is getting heckled. You know what I mean? The black family, that the one black guy we spoke about, he actually moved to that neighborhood because his family needed the benefits of that neighborhood. So a lot of times we like to play this game where we debate with each other about about systemic racism, but that shit is so real that family had to move to a white neighborhood to receive the benefits of their tax dollar, because there's so many things put in place for us as as a race, for us to be in our quote unquote black communities and not receive the same perks from our tax dollars, not receive the same benefits, our school systems, medical systems, etc. So they moved to that neighborhood consciously knowing that if they go move to a white neighborhood, they would get more perks from the system, which is interesting. Also, I thought it stood out how the white guy claimed he never seen racism, at the same time being a perpetrator of a racist attack. You know what I'm saying? I also thought it was I thought when, just like Steph said, when they said let's keep this quiet, they tried to keep it quiet, but then the story blew itself up. But I thought it was interesting how they tried to keep it quiet. And I also thought that the father, who wasn't there in the beginning of his life, but let's talk about it, Steph. Let's talk about it. The father wasn't there in the beginning of his life, but as a blessing to him, he came right on time before his son left this earth. You know, because I mean, imagine being a deadbeat father, and then right before you try to reconcile that, you find out that your child is dead. You know what I mean? Like, but I also thought the father was a little too calm. You know what I mean? Whereas the mother was breaking down because she actually raised this kid. The father was just he was out there with Al Sharpton, granted, but he was a little too calm for me. He was a little too calm.
Okay, all right, now I get it. He was a little too calm. Well, he wasn't necessarily calm because he was yelling a lot of times and he was very boisterous. However, I will say this: if we just gonna keep it a buck, men don't work how women work. So this man does not have very many memories with his son. He's upset off the principle that this is my son. You know what I'm saying? That it's more about the principle than the actual person at that point.
Right.
And I was really confused because I thought I was like, did he make amends before he died, or did he not make amends before he died? I was trying to figure out how that all thing worked out. It's like I missed something. Like I'm turning my head and here this nigga is. They was just saying how he wasn't there. I'm like, I was confused.
No, I think he made amends. I think the sons were, happy that he came back, and they had pictures with him and they were doing stuff. So I think he made amends.
And the mother said that she was grateful that he stepped in during that time because she was distraught, like you guys said. women handle things completely different than men do. And I feel like, especially in these cases, I always ask when, when a child is shot or something happens, I always ask, where's the father? Because at this point in time, that is important for the man to be in the forefront. That is important for the man to be that strong figure that the public needs to see. The man is the protector, not the female. So I'm glad that she allowed him to be able to come in and step up. And she said that it was great because she was completely distraught of the situation. So
right. I mean, yeah, but then they broke up too over that shit too.
yeah, yes, it did. Yeah.
But my fault, Steph. You got anything to say about the parental situation after that?
No. I was gonna go to the fact that you had to pay attention because when the news anchor said nigger he said he was quoting somebody else. And like they just let that shit slide. That the white news anchor actually said nigger on TV and just let the shit slide because I was reading a quote.
Right. And speaking of media personalities, I also thought it was also notable that the media actually gave the family Sharpton. The media actually said, that you should talk to Sharpton. And that's how they linked up with Sharpton. And Sharpton just came off of a bad case where he actually he was defending somebody who was guilty or something like that. You remember that, Schoolboy? Hold on, Schoolboy. My fault. Go ahead. Schoolboy. Stop unmuting your shit.
All right, we're good. Hey, so it was Tawana with Burks, I think her name was, or some shit like that. Tawana Brawley. And she had said that she got raped by a bunch of white supremacists. It later came out that she might have been lying. It's still like an urban legend that she may have not been lying, but I think the consensus is it wasn't all together true. And so he had already taken a black eye for that, and that's why. And I mean, just furthermore, that's just like some more kind of Asian shit. The media was like, "Come on, Al, man, we really need you to make this blood hit the streets, and we really can't have you out here discredited and shit." So here, talk to these folks real quick. And yo, did y'all check how he started off with Al Sharpton, but by the end that nigga had a bow tie on like he was in the Nation?
Yeah.
Did I catch that shit?
Yo,
my man was full Nation, boy.
It must be noted that Minister Farrakhan's eulogy was fire.
Fire. I was going to say that.
He was on fire. I was like, yeah.
Yo, Steph, I took the words out of your mouth with the father part, but you took the words out of my mouth about Farrakhan. That was my second to last, my fifth to last comment on this. And I literally put in my notes, Farrakhan bodied that speech.
And literally in my notes, Minister Farrakhan eulogy was fire.
And you got to also remember the context of this as well. That at this time in history, Minister Farrakhan had just come back out with the Nation. The Nation was still kind of baby new in the new era of the Nation. And so they were actually in the neighborhoods, like in the bad hoods, doing patrols and whatnot and getting a lot of security contracts. This is around the same time they was like, yo, this Farrakhan guy's getting too much power. We have to censor him. We cannot let him be seen on TV. Yo. So after the early 90s, you didn't see Farrakhan no more on TV until the Million Man March. And that was pretty much it.
I ain't gonna hold you, man. More than Al Sharpton taking that knife. I was impressed by that fucking speech. That speech moved me, and I only seen a clip of it. They only show you right there. They only show you a clip of Farrakhan went in, and also to speak to what your point is that the Nation was getting security contracts, Schoolboy. I can vouch for that because in my neighborhood they had got a contract to protect the one of the neighborhoods, one of the co-ops in my neighborhood. And I remember growing up with the Nation of Islam telling us to stay off the grass in the co-op. Every time we used to go through that hood and shit, stay off the grass. But they definitely had that contract. So yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, we've heard stories like being a part of the Nation. We've heard stories of the Nation going in there and beating folks within an inch of their damn life for doing goofy shit. I mean, it just is what it is. Like that's the reason why they kept getting those contracts because they was really like doing some work, the work that the community wanted done.
So all right. So also to speak about when they said to keep it quiet, they literally said forget about it. They literally said that shit, which I thought was crazy. And I thought it was interesting that the father originally didn't go to the first march. I thought that was interesting. And Sharpton's advice, that he gave upon Sharpton's advice, he told him not to go to that one. But then the father came to the marches after that. And then Mayor Dinkins actually helped Mayor Dinkins rise to power. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Do you remember that part, Schoolboy?
Yeah, but you know what? That really kind of brought me out of my element. I always thought of like, because I'm an '80s baby, late '80s or whatever, and so coming up in the '90s, Mayor Dinkins was the man. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody was really saying nothing crazy about it, but now I'm looking at this and I'm like, yo, he really was one of these fence riding ass niggas, man.
Yo,
really was.
They almost made it seem like Mayor Dinkins was not as about the cause as Sharpton, because Sharpton said when he woke up at his bedside after getting stabbed up, Mayor Dinkins and them was right there talking about what they need him to say to stop the violence or some shit. So after he got stabbed up, so I thought that was interesting. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're giving you some pseudo spoilers right now, but the documentary is that good that we ain't really giving you nothing.
I mean, we can't really give spoilers on history. I mean, you just had to know the story,
right? And I also thought it was interesting that they counter protest like we spoke about earlier. The counter protest that reminds me, you got people nowadays screaming Black Lives Matter, then you got the counter protest people screaming All Lives Matter, right? Well, in the middle of this situation, you had people screaming Yusef Hawkins, and then you had these people counter protesting. Every time they would say Yusef Hawkins, they would say is dead. They would say Yusef Hawkins, and those people would scream is dead, or they would scream Yusef Hawkins, and then they would scream, what about the Central Park 5? What about Central Park? That was their response to Yusef Hawkins being dead in this neighborhood. And that shit was sickening to me. And I thought it was really interesting how we still deal with that today, and how Black people also try to pick up the flag for people like this. You know what I mean? And actually give these people validity. You know what I mean? When we try to criminalize our own, when we're being victimized, and when we try to and then people that scream these counter protest cries to actual legitimate protest cries from us. You know what I mean? That's like, yo, do you know what legacy you living on? You're literally in the legacy of these people who, when they were screaming Yusef Hawkins, they were screaming is dead. When they were screaming Yusef Hawkins, they were screaming, what about the Central 5? That is exactly what it means when somebody screams Black Lives Matter. However you feel about the organization, but when somebody just wants to say no justice, no peace, Black Lives Matter, whatever, and then you scream all lives matter and all this other dumb shit, like you don't understand the concept of people saying that, stop killing us. So it's just interesting how time repeats itself, history repeats itself. You know what I'm saying? Anything else you want to say, Vanessa, before we close out on the anything else you seen?
No, I was just gonna say that's what you just said was absolutely right, and it's very dismissive. And I just want to say this: there had to be hundreds, if not thousands, of people that were running around in Bensonhurst at that time during these marches. And these people didn't disappear. These people did not go anywhere. And like I said, I went to school in Bensonhurst and I experienced these things decades later, and I had no idea about the Yusef Hawkins story. So that's why this story was very enlightening, and it made me put puzzles together. These people didn't go away. These people still live in these neighborhoods. These people still have the same mindset. So I think it's good for these documentaries to come out to expose how many people like this exist in these different parts of
Vanessa,
town.
you make a good point too. Like I remember when I was younger here, even in Georgia, I would have people tell me, "Well, that person's not white; they're Italian." I bet, like you sound stupid. Like, what are you talking about? So that, and then there was another thing that it just slipped my mind a second. Oh, I would love to see how the values of real estate increased from those riots to we need to price these niggas out of this neighborhood 10 years later.
Oh yeah, the only Black people who are over there now are the people in the projects.
And what's that called?
Marlboro.
Marlboro, yeah. Yep. Salute the Marlboro Projects, man. They had a documentary. They had a web series out of Marlboro Projects called The Cycle,
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, my cousin, rest in peace, Remo, King Remo was in that joint. You know what I mean? That was his last piece of work before he passed away. You know what I'm saying? A rest in peace shout out. And rest in peace to you, Steph Hawkins, as well. I definitely need to get to the comments though. I think we had comments pouring in during this. But Steph, before we close out on the Steph Hawkins documentary, what is your anything else? Let's hear the rest of your notes because I know you took some good notes.
You had a lot of my notes. I'm gonna be honest with you. One thing you didn't point out was Al Sharpton was trolling the anti-protesters. He was trolling by blowing kisses at them. They were really hype. He had a real hype with that shit. But yeah, I don't know where I got cut off earlier, but like the thing that really disturbed me was when they was saying they were blaming the young lady for them killing this young man. I don't know where I got cut off at, but it was that really bothered me. I'm like, yeah, these racists really don't have no type of no accountability whatsoever. And then it's like they really seriously think you're troublemaking when you're just simply speaking up. Like they was calling Al Sharpton a troublemaker. You know what I'm saying? Right. But pay attention. They called Martin Luther King a troublemaker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's damn. I don't know. I guess I'm not saying anything that hasn't already been said at this point.
Right. Schoolboy, anything else you want to say? So we got some comments, and one of the comments is in reference to something we didn't say. So we'll say it when we get to you. Matter of fact, we'll get to it right now. J-Cat. Patty Duke was a part of the murderous mob, then went on to work for Hot 97 for 25 years. Star worked at Hot 97 with him and said many employees, including Angie Martinez, knew of his past. That's fucking.
I forgot about that.
That's interesting that they knew about his past, but it's not surprising to me. It's interesting, but it's not surprising to me.
Exactly, and you know how this is why I always give a pause on trusting these folks who are on these big radio stations. They've been there for a long time. They ain't never left, and it's like, you know that for decades you've been preaching or you've been promoting music that's putting these kids in jail, and the book bag drive don't really fix that, bro. It just don't. So you know that you're doing that. You know you're making a lot of money off of these people, and everybody just lets the shit ride. So then when I see the type of people that just been around them for the last 20 years, like, oh yeah, we knew, but he changed since then. Like, just imagine you're not gonna like. Let's say that there's this young white kid who ran through here and shot these people. He's in my neighborhood, and me and a group of my friends kill him. And I get away with it. One of us gets locked up or whatever, right? 20 years later, somebody finds out. You think I'm gonna be finding jobs out here, and people in the community know that's the type of stuff that I did? Come on, white people not gonna hire me to be on their country music station promoting the damn jams to them. No.
That nigga Schoolboy said promoting the damn jams to them.
I know, man. But only black people do this shit. I remember what's his name? Dr. Boyce Watkins said black people are the only people who will dance to the soundtrack of their own genocide. I was like, God damn. Okay. That really made it clear for me, and I was pretty much done with the whole, like, if it don't make sense, I'm not listening to the shit, man.
Yo, that's some real shit he said, man. I'm glad you quoted that on the show. And I think I want to touch on that too, because even SoK put up a clip the other day on her IG talking about, it was from a white guy nevertheless, but he was talking about how the media is cool with promoting us killing each other, but let us make that same amount of music let anybody make that same amount of music talking about killing anybody else or doing another type of crime. It would not get promoted the same way. So that's real. Virginia Slim asks a question. He says, to anyone from NYC, are racial tensions still as high today as they were in the late 80s and early 90s? This is what I'm going to say to that. In the late 80s and early 90s, there was a lot of racial tension that was visible, even between the Jewish community and the black community in Crown Heights. there were a lot of people, that were counter protesting, even they were counter protesting, even actual fights and things of that nature. And then of course we spoke about Howard Beach being so close to Far Rockaway, and how if you go through Howard Beach, you liable to get hurt. You know what I mean? It was like a well-known thing. Even though we weren't scared of it, it was like a well-known thing. I feel like NYC, just like the rest of the country, what we're dealing with now is this covert racism where everybody's pretending not to be racism while still living off of or enforcing the systemic and systematic racism. So I feel like the tensions aren't as high because a lot of people are acting like it doesn't exist. Because us as a people, we love to feel that it's over with, right? And then generally speaking, white people like to believe that they're not racist, even the guys who were part of this mob said they weren't racist in the fucking documentary. You know what I mean? Go ahead, V.
Yeah, I just got to make one point because I frequent in a lot of sundown towns around New York City because I'm a driver for a living, and I'm always in Staten Island. I'm always in Howard Beach. I'm always in Reese Beach. A lot of these places, and I pick up a lot of old white people. And oftentimes, especially if I have a long drive with them, they're always trying to tell me about the racists that they live around, but how they are not racist themselves. Like I'll be driving through Staten Island, I'll be having people on my bus, they be like, oh, these people over here, they just don't get it. Their mindsets are they're terrible people. They're terrible people. And then I'll drop them off and they'll walk into their house and they're just saying hi to their neighbors like, hey, Joe. And I'm like, so you sat on the bus with me to try to claim how so pro-black you are, but you frequent amongst these people. Why would I believe that you are not of them?
Right.
I just had to add that because it's crazy. And that's up until to this day. All these people are out here. It's really crazy.
To this day.
Yo, fellas.
Yeah.
Fellas, just you heard what she said, right? That's how we be doing girls too. They be like, all my girls is hoes. You be like, oh really?
You are the company that you keep.
Yo, but you're not a hoe. I believe it, baby. I believe it.
Nah, because I be hanging out. I be hanging out with some niggas that be like making money for real, and I'm broke, so it ain't always the company you keep. Like, you fuck around and get with me because my homie's rich. You all right?
All right. So but to answer the question more specifically, I'm gonna say the tensions probably aren't. I mean, well, granted, with the whole Black Lives Matter stuff going on and everything, but I don't think they were as high still as it was then. I feel like a lot of us tend to believe that we're in a different place when we're absolutely not, and I don't think the tensions are as high. They're getting there, you know what I mean. But I think it's more of this covert racism thing that we're dealing with, whereas nobody wants to be the racism. Nobody wants to be the racist, but everybody wants the benefits of a racist. You know what I'm saying? So, but nobody wants to be the one to be, to actually be called a racist. So, but at the same time, I think tensions are pretty high everywhere. Just it's still people trying to front. I think that's what I'm trying to say. That there are people trying to front. You know what I mean? Lord Vanessa says the guy that was in jail said he wasn't racist, but then the girl said he used the word nigga when referring to black people. What the fuck? So yeah, so that's a good point. That's kind of like what we're saying now. You know what I mean? But I feel like to go back to Virginia Slim question, I feel like in those times it was known that certain neighborhoods that you weren't supposed to be in. I don't think they can get away with that now. You know what I mean? Like now they'll call the police on you. You know what I mean? The police might press you, but the people in that neighborhood are not going to just get the fuck out of here, nigga. And that's not
but calling the police is the new get the fuck out of here, nigga.
That's true.
Everywhere around the country. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember I was in the library one time. Me and my girlfriend was talking a little bit too loud. I was like, yo, get out my face because you ain't talking to nobody else talking. And she was like, I'll call the police. So I was like, well, I'll be here when they get here because that's usually my thing, right? I'm probably going to die because of that shit. But that being said, you know what I'm saying?
Creative for big. Go ahead.
Yeah. But like, they say, we're going to call the police. The police got there and I was on the same shit. I was like, yo, I'm gonna talk as loud as everybody else in this motherfucker today. Y'all just got to be upset with it. Oh, y'all need to leave. Okay, we'll leave. I ain't want to be in this bum ass library anyway. You know, that type of shit.
Yeah, Steph.
I was going. You had asked the question. Damn.
Was the racial tension still high?
No. It was something off Schoolboy story. I forgot. It'll come back to me.
All right, cool. Redemption says, good question, Slim. Curious as well. So yeah, that's my take on it. You know what I'm saying? That's my take on it. It's, of course, with the protest stuff, things are high with the protest, but at the same time, I just feel like the general synopsis is people are trying to pretend they're liberal, and to me, liberal just means if you get fucked up, you get fucked up. But I ain't the one fucking you up. That's what liberal means to me. You know what I'm saying? Liberal don't mean that they that much better than the so-called conservative.
No.
I was about to say this. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, because thought just came back in my head.
Yeah.
Remember we was talking about consciously coming up with the same ideas at the same time.
Right.
So
collective
conscious. So we go off what Schoolboy was saying. How call the police is the new get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. White people may not have said that out loud, but they had collective consciousness on this idea, because Karen in New York got the same idea as Karen in San Francisco, and Karen in goddamn Georgia is just crazy, man.
Well, the reason why is because we already know that those were the old slave patrols. They've been using the police to weaponize against black folks for centuries. You know what I mean? Like, because the fact of the matter is, I'm a big guy. You're a big guy. Logic is a big guy. So some random white person don't like the hell we doing. They just gonna have to not like that shit, because I'm finna do the shit anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not about to stop me, bro. What you gonna do? Put your hands on me? Like, you're not gonna stop me. But you know what you can do? You can say, well, I think you're breaking the law. Yes, I think he has a weapon. So then they come out there and like, get on the ground, and you get to sit back and watch. Be like, yeah. That's how they do, man. That's how they do.
Facts. J-Cap says, all applied so much pressure. I mean, Al, I think he meant Al applied so much pressure. He made the mobster snitch on the culprits. And we read that earlier, along with Redemption's comment that Al is an agent. Lorvel in the league says, I think Farrakhan was there just to get some shine, in my opinion. I mean, I think that's a common thing for a lot of these scenarios, but at this point, when things like this happen, shit, I'll take it. Get your shine, man. Fuck it, man. Clout chase. Just make these motherfuckers, put this motherfucker in jail. You know what I'm saying? Put this motherfucker in jail, even if it's just for shine.
And I if I'm not mistaken, didn't the what's it called? Goddamn Muslims. What's the Muslim security? What they call it?
Nation of Islam, Fruit of Islam.
Yeah. They weren't they offering protection to the family during this?
I believe them and a lot of people were standing at the house and protecting them at the house and things like that.
So I believe even if like your intentions weren't pure, if the family benefited from it, you know what I'm saying, that's all as well. People forget that blessings can come from a devil.
All right, so I don't like the Farrakhan bashing. That's just my thing. So long story short, people will say some goofy shit like he was just there to get some shine, bruh. What was he supposed to be doing? That's what he literally does. Like, niggas out here getting shine off of I got a Bugatti and some bitches and shit like that. That's not Farrakhan's thing. Like, when he talks about stuff, he's talking about black people and their issues. So anytime I want Farrakhan out here getting some shine, I don't want him on the basketball court trying to show me how to dribble. I don't necessarily want him even playing the violin. I want him using his voice to talk about the issues black people have and putting his people in position to help my people out. And that's what he's supposed to do.
I don't want Farrakhan showing up to versus battles talking about yeah, I was a fan listening to y'all grow up. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, like nah, bro.
I'm gonna play the advocate to that point though, right? Even though I thought, like I said earlier, I already said. So this is another thing. Let me just throw this out there. When you listen to people talk about their opinions on things, we're gonna contradict ourselves plenty of times. So get over it. But anyway, right? So I'm gonna contradict myself and say that even though I would want somebody, I don't care if they're gonna get shine. If it's gonna be effective, then get your shine, right? But what I will say in defense to that, it's not necessary to say Farrakhan was just there for shine or whatever. Is when I see people use Black Power as some type of like tool to be cool because they couldn't be cool as a tough guy or a gangster, so now they Black Power, you know what I mean? Or they couldn't be cool, other ways. They didn't know how to dress, or they weren't, popular in school, or they don't know how to be social with people, and then they jump on the Black Power train. You know what I mean? That shit does irk me. You know what I mean? I ain't even gonna front. That shit irks me when I see somebody is about it just to be cool. Now, I'm not saying that's Farrakhan, and so that may not defend his point all the way, but I just want to throw that out there. It does irk me when I see people try to be on some Black Power shit because it's cool, and we see a lot of that nowadays too. We see a lot of motherfuckers who don't know no history, don't know shit, but it's all BLM all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you talking about them lame ass niggas who got woke from watching YouTube videos?
That too, yeah, absolutely. I can't.
Like, nigga whole lives.
Yeah, I can't stand Steph. I say this, and even though I think people get conscious in their own time, I can't stand a newly conscious motherfucker, man. Because them motherfuckers always want to tell you how to live. Because what they just heard on YouTube, that shit irks my nerves.
Bro, I don't know if y'all have ever heard of this dude. Can I say his name?
He's a podcaster.
Yeah. Should I say his name? I'm probably not gonna say his name, but it's a guy on here who's actually got a decent following, and like he came out of nowhere. I think him and Polite went at each other at one time in the past. But I popped into one of his little things. And I seen this nigga talk about how you don't even really need to eat food or drink water. Everything you need is in the air. So you got to do is learn breathing exercises to sustain yourself. And I was done. I was like,
yo, schoolboy, hold on, schoolboy. Let me answer your earlier question. You definitely didn't need to see his name. All you had to do was tell us that story.
Yeah, because I feel like I already know who you're talking about.
It's a couple of them though. It's a couple of them like that though. But they be talking like whenever I hear somebody say a few things will have me done with you. Tell me how the world is flat. Tell me how I just need air to sustain myself, or tell me how a woman's menstrual cycle don't need to happen because she's just not eating the right foods. Tell me those things and I'm done.
I call them Kundalini niggas.
Kundalini.
But you know the funny thing about it is a lot of their followers are women, man, and it's sad as hell because you can tell like a lot of these women had no man in their life, and it's the first time something connected with them, and they feel like this is the right man to follow, and it's really sad, man.
And they women don't wear no deodorant, and they got all the underarm hair.
They natural.
Hey, when they say just be marinating in their own stank.
Yeah. Hold on, let me just say this. Ain't nothing wrong with being natural or trying to find natural deodorant. But yo, you know what I'm talking about.
You need to naturally wash your ass at the same time too. You can't leave one without the other. Like, I'm sorry. That 125th Street gang it's terribly bad. It's terribly bad. That it's like 125th Street has left 125th in Harlem, and they like migrated towards the internet
YouTube.
and to YouTube. And it's completely insane.
Yeah, see, we didn't have to say nobody's name, schoolboy. All we had to do was talk about the type, and there you go. You know what I'm saying? If you hear a motherfucker tell you ain't got to eat shit, but sniff, but just breathe in the air.
I would just because in my mind, you know how at first when you hear something like this, I'm gonna really hate this episode afterwards because my hands ashy as hell. But like, you know how in your mind,
nobody was thinking about that, schoolboy. Now,
look at this shit, bro. This shit look dusty, bro. Yo, I'm looking at the lighting, and I'm like, maybe it's the trick of the lighting, and I'm like, no, nigga, your hands.
Good. You good.
But yeah, man, it's not good. It's not good. I lost my train of thought fucking around with ashy hands and shit. But what was I saying just now? I can't remember.
Well, I was gonna say that when it comes to people, I guess, coming into their own consciousness or learning about themselves or learning about their history, truth be told, when people really do these studies, they're not really out to boast about the information they're learning about. They're not really out to, if they're truly authentic about learning the knowledge, they're not really out to just showcase it to everybody. They really want to learn these things because they want to know. They want to personally be enlightened. Even myself, when I started reading and finding about certain things, I became so internal. I wouldn't tell nobody shit. I would just be so into the shit that I was reading and shit that I was learning about. It made me want to progress as a person individually. I didn't care about what other people thought I knew or what they knew that I knew. It was just more so about learning and finding out more about myself, my history, and my culture.
It is a natural instinct to when you become conscious, you want to wake everybody up.
Yo, it's natural when you get down with anything. You know what I'm saying? You could just get down with anything and you're going to want to tell people. So I get it.
Oh, I didn't want to tell nobody because it was an argument with people.
Well, I mean, you're wise for that, right? But, you know, for the most part, you know what I mean? That like, it's almost like once you join something or learn something, it's like, it's a natural thing to want to, you know, spread it. But I just can't stand it. You know what I mean? Get out of my face with it and stop. And especially what I don't like about people like that is they tend to come at you like you don't know. They don't know what you know. But they come at you like you can't possibly know this shit because then you will be acting like me right now. You want you to stop eating all that shit you eat. And it's like, yo, relax. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been knowing about shit like this since a child. You know what I'm saying? Like get out of my. Go talk to somebody else about that shit. You know what I mean? Or if you want to have a conversation about it, we can do that. But don't tell me what to believe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, ultimately, that's what brought me out of the really close in with the nation, man. Because like people just didn't know who I was. It's like, bruh, like it's impossible that the reason why you know what you know is because my grandmother taught the woman that taught you. Like, get the hell out of my face, dog. It's not a whole lot you're gonna be able to teach me about this stuff. And I've heard it all, man. I've been listening to these speeches since I could remember. So get out of here.
Yeah. So let me wrap up these comments too. Let me see. So speaking of grandmothers, Virginia Slim says my grandma used to say, there is down south and up south. The whole country is racist. Bars from Virginia Slim's grandmother. And Lorville says, nah, he did it and he was a racist. Talking about dude. Redemption said, yes, it was Sam Gravano. So I think that's also the name of Sammy the Bull. Lorville Lee says, the girl exposed the guy in jail hatred for blacks. Yeah, he did it. Miss Ravioli says, contrary to popular belief, toxic humans do not view their prey as humans. Toxic humans view human prey as tools, nothing more, nothing less.
That's actually very true. One of the tactics of the U.S. military is to dehumanize the people that they're about to go to war with. Because if you're looking at the person that you're about to kill as human, then you're going to have an issue dealing with it, compartmentalizing with it. So they call them terrorist specs. What was it? What was the Japs? Like, just
right.
It's been a thing. So yeah, dehumanizing people has been a thing.
Absolutely. Redemption song says, my best friend is black. I can't stand when they say that shit. And when they say that one black dude in this documentary is the one, that was hanging with them, not the one black dude in the documentary, but the one black dude who was hanging with this mob is the black friend they're talking about. And Ms. Ravioli says, there's no humanizing a hammer, screwdriver, or pliers. Those who see humans as tools can never see humans as humans. To the predator, a tool is not a person. Not a person. And then she says, rethink the thought. Lord Vanna League says, the black guy who lived around those whites was a self-hating nigga. I wish a white dude would say the word nigga around me. I remember my friend when I was in elementary school. I think he was Puerto Rican. Yeah, he was Puerto Rican. He was a friend of mine back in elementary school. His first day in class, I remember this shit like it was yesterday. He called me a nigga. I slapped the shit out of that boy right there. Yeah, I slapped the dog. But we got cool after that. We was cool. We had an understanding after that.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's the thing I want to caution some of you young folks about. Like, back when we was coming up, you in class and somebody called you a nigga, you slapped them. Like, you go to ISS or you go to detention or some shit. Nowadays, your ass going to jail, homeboy. You going to jail for assault. And I got a neighbor right now. I got a neighbor right now who just randomly says nigga like, but he usually talks about the landlord, another white guy, and calls him a nigga. And I'm just like, yo, I'm not cool with you like that. I don't. But what I'm not gonna do is lose my freedom or
Right.
the money I have for a white guy who's just bad luck. I'm just not gonna do that, man.
Thank you for cleaning that up, man. We don't want nobody to go to jail and shit.
Yeah, don't do that to yourself, man.
Yeah, I was just gonna say quick thing. Sometimes you learn lessons throughout time, and those growing pains is really important. For me, I had a fight at the B6 bus stop in Bensonhurst on Bay Parkway with a white girl, well, Russian white girl actually, who called me a nigga, beat her ass at the goddamn bus stop, got on the bus, and then went back to East New York and went home. Now, almost 20 years later, I'm in Howard Beach at the Stop and Shop. They pick up the syrup bottle and they're like, oh, look at the nigga bitch on the syrup bottle. I look back and I walk to the next aisle. Sometimes as you learn that society changes, you have to change with it. Everything is not always a fight. And you have to, like Schoolboy said, you have to pick your freedom. I'm not about to be up in here scrapping with y'all because y'all feel some kind of way. You want to call somebody a nigga, that shit don't apply to me. I know who the fuck I am. So
not to mention, you ain't getting what they call YO time anymore. You're not going to get youth offender time. You're going to get grown time. So I feel you on that. And then Lord Ellie says he was the token black friend. J Cap says maybe it was the exact Italian that pulled. Maybe it wasn't the exact Italian that pulled the trigger. So we lock up another Italian that fit the description. Just how they do us. Laughing. He's laughing. So yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily saying I feel sorry for the dude, but he did say it wasn't him, and then the mob was the one who made him come forward. So who's to say they didn't just pick a fall guy? You know what I'm saying? So
I remember there were two people that were on trial for that, and only one actually went to jail. The other one got let go.
Yeah, that's another point.
And so that other one was probably really not mob connected. He might have been the one to pull the trigger, and that other guy had to take it. But he seemed like he seemed to be pretty comfortable in jail. Remember, he went in there.
Yeah, he had no bruises on his face, nothing.
Yeah, he went in there a skinny white guy, and he's now looking like a somebody's old Italian uncle.
Yeah, like he work out and shit. Yeah,
he all right.
If you didn't do it, snitch. That's what they tell us.
Nah, he ain't snitching on them. He ain't snitching on the people that made him turn himself in. That ain't happening.
No. Because you can't understand it when it happens to black people. I can't understand it when it happens to Italian people.
Yeah, I hear you. Good point. Vijay Slim says, Schoolboy, you make it sound like he deserved to be locked up too. I don't know exactly who you're talking about, but
no, he did. There was two people that were on trial for that murder. The person who organized it and the person who actually, they said, I think, pulled the trigger. So I think the guy who's in jail, they say pulled the trigger. The guy who organized the whole group, he ended up getting to walk away.
Chris Jones, good morning to you. Chris Jones says, or would you take the Q22 bus over the bridge in Far Rockaway? I mean, I've been through Howard Beach. It was just, Chris, you from the Rock, dude. We know each other personally. Like I know that. We growing up, we always knew that. Oh, Howard Beach, that's where the racists are. But we wasn't scared of them. But we always knew. And then, not for nothing, they did lock that kid up in Howard Beach for that murder, and he looked nothing like the.
Yes. For the bitch who was running outside. Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off, but yes. He looked like he was mentally disabled. And they tried to say that he killed the girl that was running. And I think that was some mob shit too that they covered up, truth be told.
Let's just say allegedly.
Allegedly, sorry.
And Virginia Slim says, to me, it appeared that the father was clout chasing. Yeah, I think I was kind of hitting at that a little bit, but like Al said in the documentary, that he did deserve to be able to redeem himself, and like I was saying, I think it's pretty cool that not cool, but he passed away now too, but at least he was able to reconcile with his child before his child passed away. I think that was a blessing for him. You know what I mean? Maybe some may say it's a blessing for the children as well, but it definitely was a blessing for him to pass, knowing that before his son passed, he came back into his life.
Two questions, and I mean this. I'm asking this respectfully. Was the mother on like any type of substance?
They didn't say she was. They didn't say she was, so I
Okay.
wouldn't know.
She was missing all kind of teeth and stuff like that. She might have been on that alcohol, man. I'm not trying to be funny, but
I'm not trying to clown.
She had something going on, man.
I mean, there's reasons why you can miss teeth, man. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know what she was on, and I want to be respectful of this lady.
I feel you.
Right. I'm trying, and I was trying to be respectful too. That's why I asked him, because it might.
Yeah, I don't think it made the documentary, and I think if she was, she might have said something, and you know what I mean. And honestly, you know, the 80s was heavy in the crack era, and she didn't, to me, look like a crackhead. You know what I mean? At all. So she didn't look like a crackhead at all. So I mean, who knows why or what? I know people that's missing teeth just because they ain't take care of them shit. So I don't recall looking at her teeth. So, but you know, respect to her. No mother should have to ever go through anything like what she went through. And I think you were asking because of her and the father not being together. So I'll take it as that.
No. I was gonna point to the reason that she gave. She was like, he ain't been here all these years, and he come here thinking he gonna have something to say over it. Well, ma'am, that's how it works. That's how it works. Like, either you gonna forgive him and let him be a man in the house, or you not. I think women, like, you can't hold on to shit and hold over his head, and then he gonna be your puppy. Well, I don't know why women act like that, but if that's the case, it's not gonna work.
Well, watch Storm Over Brooklyn and use Seth Hawkins documentary, and that's going to talk about this. And also, I found out one of my homies is an in-law to that woman. So definitely, let's be respectful. You know what I mean? Yeah. I saw one of my homies at the end of the documentary too. When they had the little
this nigga know everybody. Damn,
I was just about to say that shit, man. Everybody related to Logic somehow. How the hell does this even happen?
I don't know, man. I don't know, but he's like I said, it's his in-law, it's his wife's family. But
man, yo, real talk. The other day, I seen the trash man come to my house, right? Mm-hmm. And he was like, "Hey, you Schoolboy from that show?" He was like, "Yeah, you know Logic too." I was like, "Hell yeah, I know Logic, man. How you know Logic?" I was like, "I don't know, man. I was taking the trash out one day in New York and shit. Seen that nigga Logic outside, man. God damn, this nigga Logic know everybody. Y'all better be careful, man. Logic will send somebody for your ass."
Allegedly. Lower Lee says, "I think the father joined the NOI and wanted to make up for lost time." That makes sense.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. The NOI, you walk up in the NOI and you spend about a month in NOI, you'll be in the fruit of Islam too. You will.
Well, you have a black belt and all that shit, right?
I'm trying to tell you, boy. You be on that damn hard ass floor trying to do katas and shit, rolling around the ground and shit, doing exercises and marching. I'm trying to tell you, they don't put it.
I had one sensei that was from the nation. Let me tell you, he had a son in the class, and his son was like a little bit mentally challenged. He ain't play with his son. He treated his son normal and shit. You know what I mean? He mess up on one of them moves. He kick his leg, stand like this. Wow! I was like, oh shit, nigga not playing.
You know? Them folks on the street ain't fit to take it. Oh, he like he mentally disabled. I'm gonna take it easy on him.
He took it. He treated that dude like he was regular. You know what I mean? Anyway, so Mike T says, y'all keep doing your thing. Plus, I want Miss VeeSmilez. Okay, well, you know, go to onlyfans.com / what is it, V? Unmute your mic.
/ Vanessa Smilez.
Right, yeah, there you go, Mike T. Onlyfans.com / Vanessa Smilez. With an S on that one, right? With a Z. All right, there you go. Mike T. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna say no more. J Cap says the father was a goofy clout chaser. He claimed he was prepared to go to hell to avenge his son if the verdict wasn't guilty. One of the white boys got off, and he didn't bust a grape. Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm not gonna argue with you there.
Hey man, you gotta give him a break because he couldn't have known that one of them was gonna get off. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know what kind of grapes he busted, man. You never know.
All right, Shaharia, salute Shaharia says, I agree with you completely, Logic. Thank you. I don't know which part you agree with because I read the comments too late, but I'm glad I said something that rang true to you, Shaharia. Words, Sister Shaharia. If you haven't, check out Silence Kills, our podcast on domestic violence, hosted by Shaharia on the Rant Network. Lord Vanderlee says Jews are white, Italians are white, they are the same. And the only thing I'll say to that is that they became white later in the social construct, but they weren't originally noted as white, but they are what we know as white now. Lord Vanderlee says, don't forget about Patty Duke. We spoke about that. Shahari says, regarding the counter protest. Okay, yeah, it's the same shit. It's the same shit. The same shit they doing now with the All Lives Matter is the same shit they was doing then when they was talking that old what about Central Park 5? Fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Virginia Slim says, yo, don't put that shit out about you dying into the universe, schoolboy. Exactly. Like I said, creator forbid. Miss Ravioli says, birds of a feather flock together, and one feather is a tail feather that the flock will shake. Miss Ravioli with the bars this morning. One good one. One good one almost amongst many bad is no different than one bad one amongst many good. Shake a tail hashtag shake a tail feather. There's Ravioli with the bars this morning.
First of all, Miss Ravioli, I love you, but shake a tail feather is TAIL, not tail as in the story. But nonetheless, this whole comment made absolutely no sense to me.
That was bars,
Maybe
man.
that's what I'm saying. Maybe that was her play on words.
Yeah, it was bars. To me, what I see her saying is one drop of one bad apple spoils the bunch. That's what she's saying. You know
and like that's that conscious brother from Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice. It was like birds of a feather flock together, and one feather is a tail feather, and that flock will shake.
Message.
Message.
Right.
But what she's saying is one bad apple could spoil the bunch, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like she's saying, wait, hold on. At first she said birds of a feather flock together, and one good amongst the bad is no different than one bad amongst many good. So if you're the one good one in a group of bad people, it's not going to matter if that bad group is going to do some crazy shit. And if you're a group of good people and you have this fucked up nigga with you that's going to do some dumb shit that's going to get you all fucked over, there's no difference what she's saying. That's how I took it, at least.
Shake the tail. How is it going to shake the tail feather, John?
Shake the tail feather as in get rid of them. That's what I took out of it. At least that's my take on it.
I'm lost.
Miss Ravioli, you're gonna have to explain yourself when you get up here on Monday or later on the week. Lord Vanderlee says Brother Polite is a failed rapper turned black Power Ranger.
Ooh. Big facts.
Bars. Lord Vel in the league says, say his name, schoolboy, please. Nah, this is the thing. We don't say dudes' names up here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're not one of those platforms that want to talk about other people who are at around the same about level as us. We're doing the same thing they doing. So we're not going to podcast on other podcasters. That's just not what we're going to do. I think the attributes he spoke of is more important than the person, because history will repeat itself and it will be another nigga on YouTube or whatever the next platform that comes out after this talking about you don't need to eat shit, just sniff the air and breathe air, and women don't need periods. And I think what's the other dumb shit they say? Women used to get themselves pregnant. All types of dumb shit.
Yo, you gotta leave your crystals outside so they can recharge, bro.
So, you know, there's all types of shit you'll hear. And what I find the most interesting about a lot of these things they say is that white people said them first. You know what I mean? Some hippie white person somewhere that said it first, and then we get our hands on that information, and then we feed it to each other as if we got the answers. You know what I'm saying? And like Kanye said, you ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. A wise person knows that they don't know it all.
Facts.
Facts. Virginia Slim says, you talking about Brother Rich and the Pill Brothers? Nah, we not going to say who. I don't know who he's talking about, but we're not going to say who it is. And salute to the Pills. Blue Pills, my man's in them. Salute the Blue Pills, man.
Yo, somebody got it. Somebody got it in the chat. I'm not going to confirm it, but somebody got it.
But Blue Pills, my dude. I don't know Red Pill that well, but Blue Pill, that's my guy.
Yeah, Pill Brothers ain't got no issues with real shit.
Yeah, them good dudes. J Cap says Carl Jung came up with the theory of collective consciousness. See, good example. I bet you if I look up Carl Jung, he's not black. You know what I mean? But I agree with it. I think it's a real thing. Virginia Slim says Schoolboy hands look like he's been making pizza all day. Laurel says people on 125th always want to debate about the same shit most of the times. That's why I like our panel. We're not debating disrespectfully at all. We don't disrespect each other, but we debate what we, our opinions. But we're not coming at it like follow us, follow this. You know what I'm saying? We just talk about issues as they come via the news. But they actually debate things that people believe in. So it gets dangerous. It turns people against people, religion against religion, organization against organization. And I never felt that about the 125th Street movement. Sleazy Aki says facts logic. I don't know what I said, but salute Sleazy and thank you for the donation. Lord Velda Lee says vegans are the worst. They always want to argue as well as 2020 vegans. So I think they're talking about when people just sperm conscious and shit like that. And J Cap's guess on who Schoolboy is talking about is Pharaoh. Sweet D says, good morning, y'all. Lord Bell says, knows Lena Waif. Tell him the story. No, I can't tell him that one. Yo, Lord Bell, he blowing me up. So, salute to Lena Waif and
Logic knows everybody.
Is that the writer?
That's the woman.
That's the director, the
yeah. He made Queen and Slim and
and Queen and Slim. Yeah.
I don't.
That's your people. So
no, that's not my people. That's why he's telling me tell them. That's why he said tell the story.
That ain't your people. What you holding your tongue for?
Because
he's still waiting to make it big, and he don't want this to come back up.
That's what it is. All right.
There is a story there. I'm not saying that me and her are cool or not cool or like she knows me by first name or anything like that. I'm just there's a story, and I'm just going to say this. It was Sundance 2020, and I'll just say that Sundance 2020. All right, salute, and I had a great time at Sundance, and I was inspired. I'll just say that much. And salute to Lena Waif and everybody else who's doing their thing, black filmmakers. Anyway, Sleazy Aki says Schoolboy not allegedly, speaking about me knowing everybody. That's the homie. So he's telling you when you said I send somebody at you. Schoolboy Sleazy saying not allegedly, but I'm gonna double down and say allegedly. Sleazy, relax, chill, bro. Aki Better says I was the first Aki. No doubt, nobody's taking that from you, but that's Sleazy Aki and you're Aki Betha. All right. Salute to Mama Extra Call in the building. We can't wait for you and Laura Bell to do the Blackity Black show. You know what I mean? That's not the name. I'm just but we definitely can't wait for you to get
it's not a bad name, though.
It's not a bad name. We can't wait for you to get your bars off. Muhammad Extra Call got a lot to say, and so does Laura Bell. And Sleazy Aki says cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And shout out to Sleazy Aki for the donation.
Yeah, for sure. And my Mexico says, let's not talk about that weirdo, Mr. Y'all doing too much. Lord Vel says, my bad logic. It's all good, man. Fuck it, man. It's the morning rant. The morning rant. You know what I'm saying? We get it in. And Mike says, yo, this is my shit. I catch y'all every morning. 100 to you too, Mike, and salute to you and Sharia and the baby boy. You know what I'm saying? Salute to your baby boy, the prince. You know what I mean? Gonna grow up to do great things in this world. You know what I'm saying? And this has been the morning rant with my co-host VeeSmilez, Schoolboy, Steph, aka Steph Got Jokes, and we spoke about a lot. And tomorrow we're gonna speak on Schoolboy. You with it? We're gonna speak on the fact that you heard it here first. We are in a civil war.
Oh, shit now.
That's what it looks like. That's what it feels like.
Schoolboy dropped some bars on us the other day where he said that basically they're not going to say we were in a civil war until history tells the story of the time we in. So basically, we're going to look back at this time and they're going to call it a civil war. But Schoolboy, that was a great point that Schoolboy said. So what we're deciding to do is we're going to keep track of this civil war. We're going to show you that we're actually in a civil war, and we're going to talk about it.
That's
and we're going to be the first to say we are in a civil war, and we're going to point out the actual incidents that show you that we're in a civil war. Schoolboy?
Yeah, just to kind of double down on that, one of the first things you do in a war is not go and put soldiers on it. The first thing you do in a war is you start to cut off economics. Who are the people in this country whose economics have been destroyed over and over and over again, from the macro level to the micro level? It's us. It just is what it is. Like, we've been at war for a long time. Either you can like put your head up and start acting like you got some sense, or you could just go along to get along. But there's always those type of roles that were played then and now.
Facts. And as we know that they already declared a race war on us that we haven't been participating in, but there's an actual civil war going on. And just like the first civil war, and we'll speak about it more tomorrow, but just like the first civil war, it ain't even really our fight. Just keep it a hundo. It's white people fighting white people. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to talk about it, and we're going to outline all of the stories. Some of the stories we haven't even spoken about, but we had it in the group chat. And all of these stories are, if you read them all together, you cannot help but to say we're in a race. I mean, not a race war, a civil war. So we're going to speak on that tomorrow. And then after that, we're going to always have a segment of the show dedicated to the Civil War Report, hosted by Schoolboy and co-hosted by us. And yeah, Muhammad says, good to know some of us are living in reality. I trust y'all going to protect and defend yourselves instead of trying to hug police and other whites. Laugh out loud. I'm not even going to get next to them. How about that? I'm trying to stay away from the police. Like, I forgot who said it, but I get allergic around fucking police. And Mike says, salute, much love, G. Salute to you and Sharia, and congratulations again. And once again, if you haven't seen the Yusef Hawkins documentary, please go ahead and make your account with HBO. You can make a 7-day for free account and watch it. It's called Storm Over Brooklyn. We highly recommend it. I think we all can say we give it I give it a 5. What do you give it, Sharia? What do you give it, V?
I give it 5 stars.
5 stars. All right. Steph, what do you give it?
We going stars?
Yeah, stars. Or
okay, I'm about to say 5 is bad. Okay, well,
out of 1 to 5, 1 to 5.
Oh yeah, 5.
5. All right. Schoolboy, what do you give it?
I'm gonna give it a 5, man. I'm not a super critical documentary and anything crazy like that, man. I like the information. I like of course, there was a sense of it wasn't impartial. It's not the damn news or something crazy like that. They actually showed it from his family's point of view, and there was only so much they can get from the mob community. You know, it is what it is. They weren't giving up any information, so that's what came out. It made them look crazy, and that's really how they look. So I really appreciate it. I think it's a really important piece that people need to be taking and paying attention to.
And can I ask for one favor on the way out? Logic.
Yes, sir.
Can you play Pink Champagne by Mr. Motherfucking Esquire on the way out? That's all.
You know that. That's a must. We always got to play that. But before we play that, I'm going to play Ness, Nobody's Mama, the song for Yusef Hawkins. And then, of course, the last song you're going to hear is Pink Champagne by Mr. Motherfucking Esquire. That's a fact, though. You already know. Salute to my co-host. Thank you, VeeSmilez, Stephon, Schoolboy. And salute to everybody in the chat. And Lorvell says he gives it a 5 as well. You know what I mean? And we got a few more comments in, but we can't read them all because then we'll keep going. It'll be the show that never ends. You know what I mean? And this is the morning rant, not the all day rant. So we're going to get up out of here. And once again, before we get into the Pink Champagne by Mr. Motherfucking Esquire, we're going to play Nobody's Mama by Ness. Directed by the same person who actually produced the actual documentary, my good friend, Victorious De Costa. And check his interview with us out on episode 20. Salute. This has been the Morning Rant.
Good evening. A black teenager is shot to death in what police say was a racially motivated mob attack in Bensonhurst.
The dead youth was identified as 16-year-old Yusef Hawkins, of Hageman Avenue in East New York.
What happened took place at this corner on August 23rd, 1989.
And some lady, she was screaming.
I don't think there's any racial problems in Bensonhurst.
You see Yusef's face, you see Diane and Moses' face. Not just a face on the wall on Verona Place. Right off Foot and Bed-Stuy, you know the place. You know that mural, flowers all around the face. Years go by, that face still here. Years go by, that pain still there. On your birthday every year, still tears. Her mother shouldn't have to bury her son, it's no fair. Yusef Hawkins, on that day the sky darkened. Gunshots in the dark, all for nothing. So much hate in this world, it's disheartening. Came to buy a car, not a coffin. Wrong place, wrong time, right? It's like 20/20 hindsight. But we still losing lives, right? All these years later, so y'all tell me when the time's right. Nobody's mama should ever have to bury her baby. Should ever have to bury her baby. Should never ever have to bury her son, no. Nobody's mama should ever have to bury her baby. Should ever have to bury her baby. Should never ever have to bury her son, no. Nobody's story on the news, another face on the mural. So many lives lost, some you don't even hear of. Pain in the mother's eyes, hate in the killer's heart. Tears rolling down the face, staring in the mirror. 16 years old, so many years ago, we still see your glow. Seasons come, seasons go. Your mural painted so Yusef, we still see your soul, you know. Your mural painted so Yusef, we still see your soul, you know. Your mural painted so Yusef, you still here, bro. Nobody's mama should ever have to bury her baby. Should ever have to bury her baby. Should never ever have to bury her son, no. Nobody's mama should ever have to bury her baby. Should ever have
never forget Yusef Hawkins. To that end, we will rename the street in honor of a young, budding giant.
Yusef, he had that little spark in him. He inspired his brothers. I saw it early on. My cousin's going places.
People in this post-Obama era want to look at New York in the 80s and 90s in the lens of today, don't quite understand that the racial divisions were over the top.
Bensonhurst made people say, New York is like that?
As he stopped, a bunch of white guys came around the corner, surrounded us.
Next thing I know, I hear gunshots.
Bailey Avenue and 20th Avenue. Somebody just got shot. A bunch of white boys just shot a black guy.
I gotta ask you flat out, who killed Yusef Hawkins?
It wasn't my friends, and it wasn't me.
My son has been tried and executed only because of the color of his skin.
This should have never happened to him.
They evaluate the evidence, they'll realize it wasn't a racial case.
You'd have to be stupid to not determine that there was a racist element.
Martin Luther King used to say, make the comfortable uncomfortable and make the uncomfortable comfortable. So I said, we should march in the neighborhood.
They did not want us there, and they made that known.
It's like unbelievable how people acted out.
We're not just gonna go away quietly.
We will be back, and that is a fact. One more win has taken us.
My brother's death went down. People was yelling out his name.
Yusef!
My name is Chris, and before I started using Redwood,
Right now, fuck niggas. I had the niggas come back, nigga. Niggas thought it was over with for me, nigga. Y'all tried to count me out, nigga. I ain't forgot about that shit. Y'all niggas think I forgot, nigga. I ain't forgot about none of that shit. So I'm back with a chip on my fucking shoulder, nigga. Wrote this with
my eyes closed, or rose in Moscato. Intuition, inner visions flow from out the cosmos. Niggas ask me how I made it, I begin if I know. I just went with my soul, and the rest just follow. She's a good girl, fuck that bitch, I'd rather deal with dollars. Say no to CashApp, I ain't tricking, bitch, you must be psycho. But I'm prone to lie though, just don't tell all my bros. Ice roll gelato in the Bronto, so I got the sky close. Damn, it's raining, grab my cane and pass my Prada poncho. The boots was leather with the tassels, those the Randy Macho. Goggles, Ferragamo, condos big as Costco. I popped a rhino, then she swallowed like it's Mr. Sacco. Mirror, mirror, who's the illest? Please don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the realest? Wait, don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the rarest? Please don't tell me I know. Modern life like Rocco, but I still pray to Shango. Mirror, mirror, who's the illest? Please don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the realest? Wait, don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the rarest? Please don't tell me I know. I devour my goals, and that's word to gauchos. Rebel outlaw, reckless vato, ghetto desperado. Aim the Draco, eating tacos, take your breath like tacos. Adjacent to Van Gogh, I'm chasing my shadow. The pain is the shackle, embrace it for battle. In the gym for 7 weeks, I feel like Boris Kojo. I mean Cujo with a new hoe, sober watching Kuso. With my old hoe, I forgot I fuck my hoes in duos. Popo throws in 2 hoes, loopholes out with pool holes. That piece of coupon for designer, Gucci coat was 2-tone. School old parasuco, shoot like Tony Kukoc. Bitch, I'm a Samson, no Delilah, put that on my tombstone. Mirror, mirror, who's the illest? Please don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the realest? Wait, don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the rarest? Please don't tell me I know. I devour my goals, and that's word to gauchos.
Can you stop sugar crazy?